Are you sure you want to love me? You just told me that you love me for the first time, and I want to say I love you too, but there are so many things going through my mind, I'm a little nervous. Because I want to ask you, are you sure that you do? Are you sure you want to love me? Can you deal with my moods? Because I have a few. I like to be alone sometimes. That has nothing to do with you. I know I'll just need some time to regroup so I can be the best version of myself for you. I hope that's something you can understand. And if I get mad, I silence my voice instead of speaking up. I internalize what's bothering me, but I've realized that'll only hurt us both, so I'm working on that. I can also get a little sad and not know exactly why, but some days I feel a darkness come over me and I'll just want to cry, but those are the times I'll want you by my side. So if that scares you a little, then now's the time to say goodbye. I could be sensitive sometimes, and I take criticism a little hard, but just make sure it's constructive coming from a place of love. Otherwise, I'll fold like a house of cards. My confidence is usually high. It's hard to knock me down, but every now and then I tend to dim my light to let other people shine. I've never liked the spotlight. But I know it's not good to hide in the shadows. I deserve to shine just as bright. I'm working on that too, so just give me time. You would have learned all this about me eventually, after a while, but I just wanted to let you know. I wanted to be upfront and crystal clear that if you still want to be here with me, I'm not perfect, and I'm not afraid to show it. This is me. So, are you sure you want to love me?
Yo, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. This is Real Talk. What's love got to do with it? I got my big man in the background. What is you
Yo,
back there? You got what kind of porn shit you got? I know you be listening to crazy shit. What you got going on in the background, nigga?
man, that's motherfucking some shit I'm about to turn off first of all, but that's the motherfucking talk the game show used to be with the white man, not Steve Harvey doing it. Family Feud.
Nigga,
Yeah.
you know we getting old. Motherfuckers start the show off with the fucking Family Feud. What the fucking mercy? Yo, G, well, check it out, Joe. Did you see the first clip, G? You know what we talking about today, right?
I didn't see it, but I heard it.
Okay. Well, you know, the name of the show is Real Talk. What's love got to do with it, right?
Yeah, it is.
It makes sense that we discuss love in its full premise. Love in the areas of what you need, what you don't need. Because you know I got some clips for that ass today. You know I came prepared. You know, like so we're gonna cover the whole gauntlet. So listening to what she said at the beginning, what did you feel about that poetry piece that she has said?
Very, very, very understandable, but bitch, me too. Shit, me motherfucking too. I got times when I want you to leave me the fuck alone, but you don't know how to do that. You know, so yeah, I feel her, but me
Okay.
too, goddamn.
So you heard something negative right off bat. You just went to, leave me the fuck alone type shit.
Not negative. It was just like she was talking about woo 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 woo. Like most motherfuckers don't want their own motherfucking piece. Yeah, I feel you. Shit, that's totally understandable. But bitch, make sure you reciprocate.
Okay.
Where the fuck is my? Man, I'm losing my goddamn mind.
Oh, nigga, you over there sitting there having a fucking breakdown moment, nigga. Just bless your heart. We're gonna pray for this nigga right quick. Father God, I stretch my hands out to the old niggas that left their weed in the car that wish they could smoke right now. That's why they going crazy right now, because the nigga is sitting there. If he had a blunt in his hand, if he had one of these pearly pearls in his hand right now, he'd be doing so much fucking better. Look at him right now. I'm praying for this nigga right now. And this nigga touching and agreeing that he look at this motherfucker, man.
Look is lost in the bitch.
Talk about love, because this nigga is discombobulated.
Hey, we can talk about love. We can talk about the love of marijuana for your boy. And
See,
how
look,
he's
girl jumped in on you already, G. She done jumped in on you already.
Where the fuck she come from?
She come from because she be on the show, but nigga, she on your ass already. Why she gotta
be a bitch? No, because you ain't on the show. That's why.
Look, like if niggas didn't
That's why.
understand what you said, that might have came off like.
That's why she gotta be one Seiko, because you not on this show.
All right, well, look, I'm gonna give you a disclaimer tonight already, nigga. You are going to have to open up with your thought process tonight. Tonight cannot be a fuck that. I ain't with that shit. You got to sit here and talk to me tonight and explain to me your disposition, because some of these clips are gonna be pretty interesting. And you know, just because y'all niggas told me y'all don't like this nigga, I've been fucking with him pretty hard. So I'm gonna play this next clip right here. And y'all tell me what y'all think about this clip, because the chick at the very beginning of the clip, when I first started to hear it, I was like, that's the problem right there. I'm like, if you listen to your question and what the fuck you saying, you're the fucking problem. But here we go. Check it out.
New to dating. I get asked out on dates and the guys never fall through. They come up with excuses that they were in a car accident, their mother passed away. They went as far as sending me Google images of car accidents and some random lady laid up in the hospital. And I know I'm marriage material. How can I attract high quality men?
Okay. We're going to have to talk about this first. See, ladies, remember this. You attract what you put out. You emit signals. I'll give you an example. Whatever you emit from your mind, that's what you're going to attract. If you say all men are dogs, guess what? Every dog is coming your way. That's the signal you send out. So you got to ask yourself, what's your name again?
Veronica.
Veronica, what signals are you sending out where you set up a date with a guy and he goes so far as to tell you his mama died? I've been in a car accident. If you don't want to go on a date, you know, it's real simple. Hey, I can't make it. What the hell you Googling pictures and sending it for? What's the conversation you're having with these guys before they ask you for dates? What's this conversation?
Usually, I don't think the conversation is anything out of the ordinary.
Okay,
You know,
yeah, you don't think. What's this conversation like that you have? What do you talk about with a guy when you first meet him?
I usually ask them what's their occupation, their hobbies. I keep it very general. Like,
Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 31. And I started very late in the dating game.
You're 31. You just started in the dating game. What was you doing before this?
I was focusing on going to school and
Okay, I got you. That's good. So now you want to date. What type of guy are you looking for?
basically I'm looking for someone who has a career, who has their own car, who's not living with their parents. So the basic someone...
Right there. Here's your problem. You're looking for a guy who has a career, his own car, and ain't living with his mama. So now guess what? That's not what you're looking for in a man. I just told you. You're looking for a man who's sincere, hardworking, has a plan, trustworthy, has goals, visions, looking for a relationship, has some type of track record with his parents, know how to treat a woman, willing to put a woman on a pedestal and give her the queen treatment. Now, if none of that's on your radar, it's a whole lot of trifling dudes with careers, got cars, and don't live with their mama. It's just a lot of them.
Right.
So I would suggest to you, Veronica, you got to fine-tune your list. Sometimes, ladies, the list isn't fine-tuned enough. You know, you got too many generalities on it, too many broad stripes. You got to get fine-tuned. When you go to God, you ask God for something, you got to zero in. You want, God, send me a man. Oh, a man. There's all types of males walking around here who fit the description of man, but you have to be more precise. And I think you could just be missing it a little bit if you just tweak your list and be a little bit more precise. Because you got to know what you want. What, he need a car and not live with his mama. That's everybody in here.
All right, bro.
Yo,
This is why I want to go with this question.
I'm at my happy dance.
I ain't gonna say where I want to go with this question. When I heard that clip, I was like, she's cute, but I would never fucking
Happy dance, nigga. Happy dance. I found some weed. Hey.
Nigga, if you stop me one more goddamn time with some fucked up shit, I'm gonna kick your ass, nigga.
Ooh-wee. Let's go. I'm ready now.
Nigga, shut up. We on the show, nigga. Don't be waking up now. Nigga, you woke up 15 minutes ago. No, I'm just
Okay,
playing.
bro.
But listen, what fucked me up about Shorty, when she was talking and just her conversation alone, I was like, I wouldn't want to date you myself. Like I can understand meeting somebody and after conversation, you are not attracted to them at the fuck all. There is nothing in common. You might not even be on level 10. You might be on level 7, but this motherfucker's on level 3. You feel what I'm saying? And if that disconnection is that fucking wide of a gap, what did you think about this clip? First of all, G, what did you think about what Shorty was saying?
I mean, I hate to say it. No, I'm about to catch some motherfucking flack, but typical female, man. He actually, to me, hit it dead on the head, and that goes for men and women too. The way we speak when we speak about what we want is never really what we want. We always talk about what we don't want in a motherfucker. And you know why? Because motherfucker don't really know what they want. You might think that's what you want, but if you get something that you ain't never experienced before, you might like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing he said hello, Miss TT. Forget you, Maseko. I'm about to call. But yeah, it's like we don't speak what we really want. We speak against what we don't want. You know what I'm saying? I don't want most. I ain't gonna say most, but a lot of dudes that, you know what I'm saying, that stay with their parents or stay with and even Steve did something that I almost that I caught that generalizes what they think about men. You know what I'm saying? What they think about how deep it done got. He even said live at home with their mama. At least she said with their parents. Steve, you already generalizing the fact that that household was only a single parent household. This is the problem with the shit we do. We speak shit into existence and we talk about shit. Like it don't necessarily mean she had to be in a one parent household, her mama. And why could she couldn't stay with her daddy? But yeah, she was just, oh my goodness, look, she was a cutie, but when she opened her mouth, I'm like,
it turned off
it turned everything. And then the little white chick sitting next to her agreeing with her didn't help me either, because I'm like, Karen, go. We don't, Karen is agreeing with you. That's not good for me. Like, who are you fucking with? Like, how do you, I do agree with one thing Steve said, though, you know what I'm saying, about as far as what did she like? How are you beating these dudes that you ain't picking up on that vibe after 2 or 3 conversations?
That's what that was the first thing. He was like, what was the conversation previously?
Yeah, but
I don't know. You don't even remember what the fucking conversation was about.
Yeah, like how the hell you don't know that he ain't already he didn't give you those clues. What were you paying attention to during the conversation? You know what I mean? Like, what was you paying attention to? Like, it took you to actually go on a date to find out whether this nigga had a career or whether this nigga stayed with his mama or this, that, and the third. Y'all actually had to go out on a date to figure that shit out.
This is the thing that got me, right? A woman can live with a mother, take care of a mother, all of that shit, take care of their parents and all that shit, and they are looked at as a great motherfucker, right? When it comes down to the conversation of a man, and I do understand that there are men that live with their parents, right?
Yeah,
But,
me. I live with my
but
parents.
check this out though. There are a lot of parents that live with their son or their daughter because they may have reached a certain age. You feel what I'm saying? Where you know the child don't want to put them in foster. I mean, not about to say foster,
Yeah.
but doesn't want.
Nurse home.
Yeah, doesn't want to put them in a nursing home. You know, they want to make sure that they have the means to pay for you know, the hospital bills. They had the means to pay for everything that needs to be taken care of with that particular person. So is that person being looked at as like you live with your mama? Is he being looked at as a less of a person? A man that's taking care of the woman that took care of him?
Not in my eyes, but you know,
I'm just asking.
in the grand scheme of things, you right. That's what motherfuckers do. They instantly think that a nigga that's staying at home with his mama ain't doing this, he ain't doing that, or he this that. But man, at the end of the day, if you really look at it, what actually is wrong with that? You should be able to look at that and be like, damn, at least I know I could, at least he's a caring type motherfucker. Because I know a lot of them niggas that don't even fuck with their mamas like that actually get into, and I never understood that shit. But yeah. So
All right. You know, because I thought the ladies was gonna be on here too, you know. But
they be scared. They scared. Shit.
you know, they tell you know, one of them said they coming. They say they coming. They got something to do.
Oh, man, cheek shit. They scared.
You know, I think you know what I think it is being. I think me and you been on the air a little too much, and we've been bringing this heat a little bit too much, and you know, they might be a little bit intimidated to come back on the show. But here we go. Here's the next clip, G.
Dating someone, how long do you think it takes for you to know that this person is the one? 3 years. This. The black dude say 3 years. I got to check it out. I can't rush into nothing, Steve. I've been married before. I need 3 years. Well, most married people said, this is a study, that it takes 172 days for you to determine if you wanted to marry the person you're dating. 172 days. It's almost 6 months. I'm gonna tell you something, ladies. What I'm about to tell you is something about men. This is how men know she's the one. That's some simple stuff. You know, like if it takes you to introduce you to his mama, that's a good sign. If you never meet his mama, you ain't the one. If you've been dating more than a year and you ain't met this man's mama, you're not the one. If your man is out in public holding your hand and he gets in a disagreement with somebody and he's still holding your hand, say, man, what? You don't, go look, baby. Get on back over there. You don't know. You don't be talking to me like that. Stay back there, baby. That's what I said. You don't say that. Stay behind me, baby. Here's another one to know she's the one. If she makes your favorite meal, the one your mama always made you, but she don't make it nothing like your mama made it, but you eat it anyway, oh yeah, she the one. Oh yeah, I'll tell you. Here's another one. This is the last one I'm gonna do. When you start putting the word we in all your sentences, we don't like ice cream. Dog, I had a partner tell me that one time. He was with his girl, he said, dog, we don't like ice cream. I'm looking at him. You know how much ice cream me and you ate growing up? It was our favorite. We stole ice cream together. The hell you mean you don't like ice cream?
All right, nigga, you like ice cream, nigga?
Love it.
You looking for a woman that don't like ice cream, or do it matter?
Don't matter to me.
Don't matter.
More for me, shit.
All right, now, what did you feel about? All right, now I ain't gonna even ask what you felt about the clip. What are the signs that it's the one for you, bro?
It's a feeling, bro. Ain't no real signs for me. It's a feeling. I can't just look at, because everybody is different. So for me, it's you can, like, do I believe in love at first sight? Yeah, kind of, sort of. But at the same time, for me, again, it's like, it's other things that I can't simply say that I know by looking at them or just looking at her that she's the one for me. It's got to be a conversation. One type of conversation. I could look at her and be like, damn, she my type. But I don't know if I could look at a woman and not know her like that and just be like, oh, she's the one for me. You know, we definitely got to have some conversation. And then it's going to be about, it really ain't about, for me, what you do, because anything you can do, I can do. You know, I can cook, I can clean myself, I can I can do my own laundry, I can do any of that shit. So that's not going to, you saying none of that is going to impress me at all. You know what I'm saying? And what the things that impress me or that they're gonna attract me to a woman are things that I definitely have to have a conversation about, or things that I do that I may just do just to see how you react to it. You know what I mean? Like the old the old saying. Let me see if he opened my door for me. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna open your door for you and let you in the car. But if the door locked on the other side, what the fuck are you gonna do? And if you don't reach over and unlock that door for me, then you already
that's a fact.
Background. You're already in the background for me because you only thinking about yourself.
Mama taught me that one. Mama definitely taught me that one. Mama said, if you feel the way about a woman, you open the door for her. She said, by the time you get around to the other side of that car door, she should already have. She should be in the process of reaching, or in the process of coming back from already cracking that door for you to come in.
Because I walk around the back. I let you in. I walk around the back of the motherfucking car, and I'm looking through the back window. Like, what is she doing?
If I do a cartwheel over that motherfucker, G.
And I be looking like, what the fuck is she doing? Okay, she not open the door. Oh, okay, that's start number one, because that lets me know you also thinking about me like I was thinking about you.
See, when it comes to the conversation of love at first sight, and I think I told y'all this before. I believe in it because my grandfather and my grandmother on my father's side, he met her, and the very first day he met her, he came at her like, yo, marry me. Like, she told him to come back. A week later, she did it. You know, he did it again. She told him no. I mean, she didn't tell him no. She told him to come back again, ask her again in another week. But I guess over time, he got to know her. But guess what? Them motherfuckers was married until my grandfather died. And my grandmother never remarried. She never, to my knowledge, whether my listen, I'm trying to tell you, I don't know what my granny did in her private time. But for what I know of my grandmother, she never, ever even thought about another man after my grandfather passed. And I'm like, yo, I know that's some selfish shit to say, but that's what the fuck I want. I want to be in love so fucking real that it don't matter what nobody else think about it. You know what I'm saying? Except for me and the person that's in love. You feel what I'm saying? It needs no explanation to anyone but me and the person that's in love. But I don't know. Love is looked at so differently from when my grandfather got married to when my parents got married to when I became a young man into the fact that now I got kids and they got, and my oldest boy got a kid. It's a different scenario in each one of those lanes. Times have changed and evolved. Like when I was coming up, we didn't look at TV and see some of the shit that these kids are being raised up on, and that becomes their core value system. You know what I mean? Like it's a different ball game, bro. Oh, what you got to say about that, Mr. Light It Up? Read some comments.
Ain't nothing but Maseko ass. She ain't got nobody to read. No, need to read her shit. Ain't nobody but her talking shit. No, she said, not married. Then she said, we tend to speak in generalized terms. Laughing my butt off, leave Karen alone. There are those who will say that is an excuse. I guess she talking about the staying with parents or whatever. And then she said, ain't nobody intimidated. Ain't nothing intimidated about us. Yeah, whatever. No, I look into my eyes. You see how intimidated I read? I look, goddammit, you better look again. Go read. Now, that's why you misspelled go. It's go is G-O, not G-D. Nigga, we ain't the guy. Oh, or are you trying to let me know that the G-D is in the dough? Miss TT said, oh, that's sweet. Yeah, maybe that's what she said. Maybe she meant the GDs is in the dough.
Niggas said the GDs is in the dough.
Oh, maybe she was trying to cuss. Maybe that's what that was. Maybe it's read the goddamn comments. Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck happened. Maseko, Kim, Ishtar, I don't know. Y'all better bring y'all asses on up in here. Y'all see what happens when we let the dogs loose in this motherfucker.
Ain't nobody scared of you, motherfucker.
If you, I'm about to slow it down, and I'm about to bring in some good shit. I'm gonna slow it. I'm gonna bring in some nice shit right quick, and then we're gonna get. By the time we end the show, I'm gonna hit a couple corners, and it's gonna be like, okay, what do y'all think about that as far as love goes? All right, here we go.
Ghetto butterfly flew away from me. I wait patiently by windows and doorsteps, play make-believe as my tears pour chest. Won't succeed to breathe if not the air of you. Surely there's never been a shade so blue, a stank attitude so not mad at you. Not a magnitude to encompass the latitude of my love for you. No space or time compatible. What do I have to do? What do I have to do? Ooh, my friends say I got it bad for you. I do, but there's nothing in this world I'd rather do but you. I want to make love to your existence, drenched in the colors of your energy, then masturbate to the memories. I want to lose myself inside yourself until you find me, confine me to the freedom of your prison, existing the same space, same time. Combine until your thoughts slow grind with mine. Combine until your thoughts slow grind with mine. Combine until your thoughts slow grind with mine. I wanna drink the sweat of your intellect, reflect and watch your light passion mark my neck. Caress the sight of your presence with no question. Undress to the nakedness of love, pure love. I want to make love to my soulmate. My soulmate, make love to my soulmate. My soulmate, make love to my soulmate. Shit. poetry till climax, till the point and place where our space and time match and we cross divine paths. Tell me, would you like that? Now would you like that? Tell me, would you like that? Would you like that? Tell me, would you like that? Would you like that? I'm ask you again now. Tell me, would you like that? Tell me, would you like that? Now would you like that? Tell me, would you like that? Would you like that? Tell me. I wanna love you more than madly. Wrap these legs around your words until your speech is straddled deep. Gladly swim the currents of your vibration. Be separate and one with the same meditation. Same meditation. You know what? This right here is poetry. be that sound. And we will be the band to play it.
See, we trying some new shit on the show, man. I'm still smoking the same old shit though. It got me feeling some type of way. I like that little shit. You know, I play that saxophone, so you know that shit got to me.
That's all I heard. Yeah. That's all I heard.
I got that shit. I was like, thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. I'm trying to do some new shit on the show, G. I'm trying to tell y'all, I've been working. If y'all paid attention to the background, can somebody give me some claps and some daps for the shit I've been working on? Like, we've been working on this shit for a while. And you know, shit, we done had all kind of backgrounds and all kind of shit. The phone lines open, all that shit. This takes some time and some work, some real shit. Now, I was trying to hold off on this next conversation because, you know, I thought Maseko would be actually good for this conversation, but she's not here right now. We talk about love, right? And we understand it's different strokes for different folks, right? So what floats, everybody knows this, what floats notes fucking boat don't float your boy's boat at all, right? But we got a couple people that rock with our show that they live a different lifestyle than we live. They live in this community called polyamorous lifestyles. They live in this community called BDSM. And I got 2 clips, and I'm gonna try to give her a second to call in because I want to get her opinion about especially the not the BDSM, but the poly side of it. But this BDSM clip that I'm about to run for y'all is pretty interesting. Because it's of a couple. I'm gonna give y'all the background of the story. It's a couple that is into spanking and shit like that. And we talk about that shit all the time on the show. Y'all, you know, all the fucking time. We always talk about that shit. But what caught me in this conversation was, bro, the woman introduced it to the male, first of all. So they were already a couple, and she introduced this lifestyle to him, right? But if I understood this properly, and y'all let me know what y'all think about this, she's going to say she gets no enjoyment from it. Her husband gets no enjoyment from it. However, it works for the benefit of their relationship. And that's the part that I did not understand. Because if they would have said, oh, there we go. There's the kink. Skinky. Hey, baby. Now, that's the Seiko, y'all, for those that don't know who, that's the one that Note's been cussing out all show, and she's been cussing him out. Now,
it would take some poly shit to get her ass on the motherfucker.
Yeah, I thought it would. I thought when I started talking this kinky, nasty shit, I started to think that the phone lines and all that good shit would pick up. But Seiko, this clip is very interesting to me because, like I said, they're into this shit, but they both say it in some degree. Neither one of them get pleasure from it. Neither one of them, you know, it's nothing exciting for them, but they do it, and it makes their relationship better. So I'm about to play this clip, and the first person I want to hear from is the nasty, kinky lady that just joined the line right now that's smiling so beautifully, Miss Maseko. Let's get it.
It's Brandy. She fell in love with Lazarus.
We have been together for 15 years.
We're happier than we have ever been.
But this couple's secret to a successful marriage is not what you might expect.
We have been practicing domestic discipline for roughly 10 years.
I think you said you only use your hand. That's not true.
And their choice of lifestyle gets a lot of people riled up.
People can say, oh, you're abusing your wife, I'm calling the cops. We get a lot of the woman is brainwashed.
I love everything about my wife.
He is very, very loving. Like, he's sensitive and caring and just loving in general.
Loving feelings aside, this pair have a set of strict rules that govern their day-to-day relationship.
We have been practicing domestic discipline for roughly 10 years.
A domestic discipline relationship is a dynamic between two consenting adults where you have a dominant and a submissive. The dominant is usually referred to as the HOH, which is head of household. The submissive is referred to as a sub or a TIH, which means taken in hand. The dominant sets rules and expectations for the submissive to live by, and there are consequences for not following the rules or not meeting those expectations. The 4Ds are danger, disobedience, disrespect, and dishonesty.
Following up on consequences being broken under the 4Ds, it could be from spanking or writing lines, corner time, or just a stern lecture.
It depends on which rule you broke. They all suck.
I bet. So I asked her to write a line stating that being submissive is important.
It was being submissive is very important. It's a unique quality to have. I will be submissive at all times to my HOH. And I had to write 10 pages worth.
10 pages.
I don't find writing lines as demeaning. It's, I guess, just like any other consequence. It's not fun. It's tedious and it sucks, but that's about it.
In addition to set punishments for Brandy's rule breaking, there's also set tasks regarding the division of labour around the home.
Daily household chores would be dishes, cleaning the kitchen, doing the floors, double checking the bathrooms, make sure they don't need to be deep cleaned. That needs to be in the trash can. Dining room table, our bedroom, and usually 2 to 3 loads of laundry. I do all of the cooking unless it's grilling. He does the grilling.
You might be surprised to learn that the idea for this relationship structure didn't come from Lazarus.
When Brandy first brought DD lifestyle to my attention, I felt kind of awkward. I didn't really understand why.
I kept getting a book recommendation for a book called Spank Your Spouse, Avoid Divorce. A lot of it surprisingly made sense, so I just decided to bring it up to him.
At first, I thought I was hurting my wife, and you know, it's just the mind thing on that part where it feels awkward, but looking into it, I understood why. I have never left a mark, considering like a black and purple bruises and anything like that.
Why do you guys consider this not abusive?
We don't consider it to be abusive. One, because it's consensual. I don't think people consent to being abused. Two, it was my idea, and I had to convince him to do it. There's no long-lasting damage. It hurts for a little while and then it goes away. Okay, domestic discipline and BDSM are different because in BDSM, there's an enjoyment factor. Either you enjoy getting spanked or you enjoy spanking somebody. I don't enjoy being spanked. He doesn't enjoy doing it. There's really not much similarities. It doesn't bother me that he doesn't get the same consequences that I do because our situations are different and our roles are different and it wouldn't work. Oh, I just realized I have 827 member requests today. I started the Facebook group with one of my friends who is also in the lifestyle. This was a safe space where people can talk, people can vent without.
I got to stop it right there because this is what I want to know. Did you hear the part when she said, I don't get nothing from the spankings and he doesn't get anything from the spankings? Now, Psycho, that is the part I need you as the expert on this conversation to explain to me. Because hypothetically speaking, right? If I was to spank somebody, I would understand the pleasure of what I'm getting out of it, and I would understand the pleasure of what I would want that woman to experience. And I would hopefully believe that that woman would experience that same thing. Now, it's a different thing if you telling me that you don't like it, and I'm telling you I don't like it, and this has become part of our livelihoods. That is a strange part to me that I need you to explain to me.
Bro, let me tell you something.
I'm listening.
Ain't nobody about to spank me if we ain't enjoying it. I don't give a damn. Um,
But don't act like you don't understand that
no,
side
no,
because
no, I wasn't. I wasn't. I said me.
come on,
I
come on.
said I
We're about to have
clarified. I
this
said me.
conversation. Come on, come on.
Um, as far as neither one of them getting anything out of it, there can't be any full truth to that. Somebody's getting something out of it, and the reason I say that, and I understand. She said, "Well, neither one of us gets anything out of it." Da 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 da. She needed that level of discipline in her man, or that level of basically she needed him to okay, ain't really there ain't a whole lot of nice ways to say it. She needed him to grow a pair, and she needed him to be the man of the house, and she needed him to be
But okay,
that man.
okay, but this is my question. And my understanding of a dominant and a submissive, right? I have a different view of people that just say dominance in the bedroom. I believe that a dominant it has a dominant personality. A true dominant is they are dominant. You feel what I'm saying? A true submissive is a true submissive. Hold on, listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. They are true submissive in the fact that whatever they're submitting to, they they're submitting to it. You feel what I'm saying? Now, in this conversation, it seemed to me that the person that was saying that they were the submissive was actually the dominant because everything that they're doing sexually was something that she brought to him and that she wanted done. Now, regardless of who's getting spanked or all that shit, it's because she's saying this is what I want to have happen sexually. And he's like, okay. So is in my eyes, that's another fucking trick. That's something that you got to explain to me. I'm asking you to explain this to me. Because
Okay,
in
so
that situation, to me, if
yeah,
you are controlling the entire lifestyle and you brought it to this nigga, and even if you notice when they was asking questions, he would just look at her and lift his hand up and like, and then she was just even saying this shit like, well, I'm the motherfucker that chose this shit. People call them, and that made me think like, okay, she likes a lot of loud shit. Because if police is coming to your crib, because you are either extremely loud person, because there are a lot of people that are just extremely loud during sex, or this nigga is doing some shit and taking it to an extreme that the police got to get caught. Somebody is listening to this shit like, oh, that does not sound like pleasure. That shit sounds crazy. So if she is leading that situation and telling him to do that, then she, in my opinion, is the dominant and he is the submissive because he is submitting to what the fuck she wants to have done. Talk to me, please.
so I'm gonna say this, and I'm about to have a whole lot of D types in my inbox. The dominant, regardless of who brought it to the situation, who brought it to the table, that doesn't determine who is the dominant or who is the submissive. And even if a submissive bought something to the dominant, was like, this is what I'm interested in, this is what I want to do, it is then upon the dominant has to take it upon themselves to be like, okay, yeah, or okay, no. At the end of the day,
There are people out here that just do stuff because somebody told them to do it, though.
hold on.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we use safe words. So at any given point in time, if you safe word, whatever is going on stops. unless you're talking about a whole master slave situation, but that's totally different. But when it comes down to domestic discipline, she wasn't saying that their sex is what had people calling the police. It was him disciplining her
I
is
know.
what had people calling the police.
I agree.
And his disciplining her, she's not telling him, "Oh, you need to spank me. Oh, you need to, you need to do this, that, and the third." Now, maybe in the beginning, she was like, let's, explore domestic discipline. But she's not saying, "Oh, I fucked up. You need to spank me."
Yeah, but the
"Oh,
police,
I fucked up. You need to make me write lines."
the police ain't showing up and she writing 100 lines though.
No, the police not showing up because she writing 100 lines. But if he's wearing her ass out and somebody happens to hear it, or somebody happens to see something, the windows is open, the patio door was open, whatever, somebody heard something, yeah, they're going to call the police, because I'm going to tell you, I don't know nobody who, if you spanking me and tearing my ass out the frame in a disciplinary manner, am I going to just sit there and be like, I'm going to take this real quiet, like, hell no.
I can understand that to a certain degree. Hey, Big Note, talk to me, man.
You already know. Not
agreement at the beginning of the show. You just
that's why I'm laughing. That's exactly why I'm laughing. That's exactly why I'm laughing. And what the fuck happened to my camera? What the hell going on?
I moved my candle. Calm your nerves. Smoke your shit. Calm down.
What are you talking about?
Keep talking.
I said, what happened to my camera? Where did that come from?
He froze. Yo, signal, we hear you though. Go ahead, come on.
You hear me? All right, that's what's up. Again, I see how you tried to set me up with this when I was thinking about it the moment they started, the moment the whole conversation came up, because you already know I don't fuck with this shit. You already know I do not fuck with this type of shit. I'm not a sex person, all this shit is. But I will say this. What you said is kind of what I agree with. I do agree, like, how the fuck, and this is probably why I can't get with this shit, because it's too much other shit that goes, like, I'm like you, basically, nigga, you ain't the dominant she is. She telling you everything and your punk ass doing. Well, I ain't gonna call him a punk ass, but your ass is doing it. You know what I'm saying? So how are you sitting there looking like I really don't want, like, he really looks like he don't enjoy this shit. He really looks that way.
Look, when he said, look, when they was out in the yard, they said, well, how did this? He said, well, she came to me one day and he's like, I don't leave any marks on her. And, like, he was just like, I was like, this does not sound
like a man that gets down with this shit.
Like, I'm like, I listen, I don't know every person that calls themselves a dominant and a sub in this world. Okay. I don't. So how every sub and dom talks is a little bit different. You understand that? But what I'm used to when I hear a dom talking, a dom talked more like she was talking, and a sub is more like he was talking, looking at her for responses, lifting his hand up, saying, "You go ahead and respond. You got this." And she was like, "I like this." She's like, when the dude asked her, he said, "Well, what do people think about what y'all do?" She said, "I'm the one that told him about this. I'm the one that," and she was very, firm with that. He just sat there and said, "Uh-huh." He didn't have anything really to say. Only thing that he said, honestly, if you watch that whole clip, is when she first gave the 4 definitions of what they have. He said 1. He was sitting there counting 2, 3, and she got to the 4th one. He said that 4th one. Then it got to the point that they moved on a little bit further. You feel what I'm saying? And then they took him outside. Then he spoke. Everything else, he was. And it wasn't like, answer this shit. It was more like a puppy. Like, yeah.
Like he felt like he was more meek.
I'm gonna tell you something else. She was lying, and I'm gonna tell you why I think she was lying. She talked like she really does enjoy this shit.
That's why I asked the first question. Like,
yeah, that's why she's sitting up there.
I don't enjoy this shit. And she's sitting there. Listen, he didn't say I don't enjoy this shit. She said, I don't enjoy, but and he doesn't enjoy it either. But it works out so good for us. How does it work out good for you if one of you at all do not enjoy it?
It doesn't.
What you say?
It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't. But just like I said, so remember in the group, in the Real Talk group, there is a clip when the woman is talking about alpha and beta males. Remember that clip?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about alpha males and beta males or whatever. And she said, but you know, there's somebody for everybody. I don't know what's beyond a beta other than an omega, but you know, we ain't even gonna go into all that. But what I will say is, just because she was the one, and that may have been why she brought it to him, because she's a very strong personality and she needed him to be stronger in who he was or in their relationship. She needed him to
Or
wrap
she,
his neck,
or she,
basically.
or she knew, or she felt that her telling him what the fuck to do is what was gonna fucking happen. Like, see, we can't
No.
take that out. We can't take that out of the scenario. Like, there aren't some certain people, male and female, that have the mindset of fuck it, whatever the fuck I say is gonna go down. You can like, see, that's the way I feel like in this situation. She's the type to be like, yo, I read this book, I feel this way, and I want to do this. Now, regardless of whether she told him or not, she was gonna do that shit regardless. If the right nigga came along and she felt like, I could do and play with this or do this or say this, or she would have pulled it. And that would have been the side nigga that did all of the side shit that she needed to do. Or she would have been the type to been like, well, you don't do this, so I'm gonna go find somebody who will. Because she seemed like the type of person. I ain't gonna even say that. She just seemed like, she was so hell bent on, after she read that book, that shit flamed some shit in her, and she wanted to know about it. Like, that's what I feel.
Okay. So when we talk about situations like that, I mean, so especially in the lifestyle, you may find a woman who has a dominant as well as a husband or a boyfriend. And it's because for whatever reason, there's not that balance. So whoever her partner is, hold on.
You're getting ahead of tonight's show. You're
No,
getting
no, no. I'm answering about this particular clip.
no, you're about to get ahead of tonight's show. Oh my
Hold
God.
on. No, I'm still talking about this particular clip.
Okay,
You
this will
asked
be
me,
the
I'm
lead
gonna
in.
tell you. You asked me, I'm gonna tell you.
Now this will be the lead in to the next clip then. Okay, come on.
Anywho, so because he wasn't providing what she needed,
Okay.
rather than go and outside, she was like, okay, this is what I need from you. To go back to your wants, needs, and your requirements. This is what I need from you. This is what I need in order for things to stay status quo, in order for us to stay married, and in order for us to stay together. This is what I need. My wants, my needs, my requirements. That doesn't mean that she was the dominant. It just meant that she went to him and she told him what she needed. Now, being the man that he is, I mean, I don't know. He didn't seem real alpha like to me, so he figured whether he liked it or not, he felt like he needed to step up and do it in order to keep sanctuary in his
If
home.
he was not that and he felt like he needed to step up, wouldn't you say that's the mind of a submissive? Because a dominant gonna be
No,
like,
that's the mind of a man who's just like, let me do what I gotta do.
but listen what I'm saying. Most people that I know have a dominant mind. That's why I said the people that I know. So I don't know every dominant. So I'm not speaking to every dominant. Most motherfuckers that I know that have a dominant mind, you're not gonna come to them and tell them like you're gonna do some shit to them that they don't want to fucking do. Because it's already their mindset is they're like, oh shit, man. That's when that word that you don't like is gonna pop up. Like, man, who you talking to, man? Like, and it's gonna come off smooth. It ain't gonna come off like, who you talking to? Because a real dominant don't have to be fucking like, rah, rah, rah. Because he dominates what he fucking dominates. Think about what I'm saying. A dominant is That's what the word is, a dominant. Don't make me go look up the word. Y'all know me. I will go. Matter of fact, that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to look up the word
You
dominant.
cannot use Webster's dictionary for this, baby.
Okay.
What if
But
I told you I had a dominant? You know me, you know my personality, you know how I get down. What if I told you I had a dominant?
all right, well, if you find something else to read and give a definition of it, then you read it. I'm going to read the definition that I come up with.
But that's the same
Whoa,
bullshit definition, the place that you got the combination for poly. That's what started. All it is. You
But
trying to quote the standardized dictionary.
I understand that. But does the word derive from what the word is? See, that's why I be having a problem with a lot of motherfuckers that be talking about this lifestyle shit because they jump into this shit because it's some sex shit. I say this all the time. A lot of niggas jump into that shit so that they are not called a whore. A lot of them do. They ain't in that shit because they are actually, you know what it is. Remember how I talked about the one person that went through that one little situation and a guy put his hands on her, and then before that, she was all on her knees. Every fucking picture you see that shit, and she had a collar on, all that shit, and she just every fucking day. But then they had a situation where they bumped heads and he whooped her ass. I'm not saying that he was right for that, but he moved right on. And this is the crazy part: the same shit that I saw him doing with her, I saw him do with the next chick, and I knew that she knew about the chick beforehand. She's posting pictures all bloodied up. And then she's posting like, I'm no longer dominant. I mean, I'm no longer in the lifestyle. So were you in the lifestyle from the beginning? So there's a difference between the person that's in the lifestyle and they like, I'm in this shit, than a motherfucker that's going through a phase, a motherfucker that's testing it out, a motherfucker that's being a whore. Do you agree or disagree with that? There's a complete difference because you know people, young lady, that do not follow the rules as you know it to be if they wanted to be on some real shit. Come on.
You know what? I'm gonna throw something out there. Just going off what you said. And those who are truly in the lifestyle will understand exactly what I'm about to say. BDSM does not equal sex.
I know.
Does not necessarily have anything to do with sex.
I agree with that.
So when you sit up and going, oh, well, they doing this because they like the sex and they like this and they like that, da 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 da. Even as far as having multiple partners, that ain't got nothing to do with BDSM.
Yeah, but
swingers, poly, okay, but that ain't got nothing to do with BDSM.
Yeah, but they both
don't confuse the two and don't attach the two to one another.
This is the difference in what you just said and what they just said. You said it's a difference when you got some people that are into it and they like it and they love it. Both of them said, I don't like this. We do it. So I bring up the question again. Why would you do anything that you don't like that does not benefit you, but you saying it benefits you? How does it benefit you if you don't, if you cannot explain to me the benefit of it? Because people, guess what? I know subs that can tell you
12 years of marriage. That's what their benefit was. 12 years of marriage.
I know subs that can tell you what they like about being a sub. And you listen to the shit and you may agree. I've listened to certain motherfuckers and be like, oh, you like that? Oh, that's but they talk about it. They live it. They talk. That's what they are. So I would consider that person a true sub. The way that they presented themselves. I'm gonna move on to the next clip because I want you to explain this next one too, because this is something that you could explain that I wouldn't understand, and neither would Nope, but Nope has to explain it too because he already gave me that word. Nope. You gave me it at the front of the show. Fuck it. Let's go to it because he shook his head.
How does sex happen? Like, do you have to schedule?
Google document.
Yes.
It's a Google Doc, yeah.
I'm on my way to meet Sierra, a woman who's currently in 2 relationships. One with her long-term partner, Alec, and another with Marcus, who just joined their triad 3 months ago. She's, like, super busy. So, what are we ordering?
Okay, so Marcus doesn't like bagels, so Alec's gonna get a poppy seed bagel. That's what he gets every morning. And then I'm gonna get Marcus a chopped cheese.
I don't even feel like I can remember what, like, my one boyfriend wants to eat. Do you say that they're both your boyfriends, or
Yes.
and are you like, this is my primary boyfriend, or like my top tier boyfriend?
Everyone is aware that Alec is my primary partner. It's like the same way that like if you have an emergency contact at work, like you have an emergency contact, you know who that is. Like that's not Marcus, it's Alec. So pretending that they're equal would not benefit anyone, you know?
I like the idea of just like emergency contact over a primary partner.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
Breakfast.
All right,
so I got a bagel for you. Here you got it.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I have chopped cheese for you. See if it's good though. I got all the stuff on it, okay?
So what does your relationship look like?
I call him boyfriend, I call him boyfriend, he calls me girlfriend, he calls me girlfriend. We have sex and like we have sex, but we do not all have sex together. So I think that some people, maybe that's what they do in their relationship or they're looking for that. That's not what we were looking for.
So obviously you guys have separate relationships.
Yeah, it's open.
Not just sex, love. They can do everything, yeah. The goal would be to love other people. The more love, the better. Like this is an additive model for love here.
Are you in love with both of them?
I am.
I think it's threatening because you just feel like, what if you love someone more than you love me?
That's a big one. Alec will bring up to me sometimes like, hey, I haven't had enough time with you because you've been spending a lot of time with Marcus. Can we plan like a getaway together? And like, we'll do that.
We have so much Euro. We need to save all this Euro.
We might go to Europe.
Yeah, because there's a lot of Euro.
And that's been really important for me to like move things aside in order to respect that with him. Okay, cheers. And the same thing like with Marcus. He needs a lot of emotional support. So that time management's something that comes into play.
Do you think people who are poly are like better or more evolved than monogamous people?
No, not at all. There's certain types of relationships that I genuinely cannot do. This is just one that works for me. I felt like a failure doing monogamy, I really did.
You just have to be so good at communication for this to work.
You have to like communicating. We're gonna be in Japan in less than a month, so we need to know at least 4 phrases.
You're welcome.
What is like, excuse me, because I bumped you on the train? It's the only one I need to know.
Sumimasen.
Sumimasen.
Marcus has only been doing this poly thing for 3 months. So as a newbie, is he like freaking out? Because I would be. When you met and she told you that she was poly, what did you think?
I was overwhelmed at first, I'm not gonna lie, because I've been monogamous up until that point. Is this really gonna be a real connection? Like, can someone really love 2 people at once? And like a lot of things came into my head. But just seeing how her and Alec interact, it's different from the way me and her interact, so it works in a sense. It takes away a lot of the jealousy I had, and because most of the jealousy I had stemmed from not having met Alec first.
Do you think that meeting them has changed the way you think about love and relationships on a whole?
Definitely. Being monogamous, like, it does have its perks, but the one thing, it doesn't allow for as much freedom. I feel like poly allows for that, and not only that, but it allows for a deeper connection because there has to be that level of communication, that level of trust there, so.
Don't you ever get sick of talking, though?
Not when there's good conversation.
Fine. Okay, but with all this talking, is there even time for sex?
Come here. Come here.
So if you guys all spend so much time together, how does sex happen? Like, do you have to schedule?
Google document.
Yes.
It's a Google Doc, yeah.
Here you go, baby.
Yep.
Like, do you have to pre-schedule your own sex time slots, or are you just like, I'm gonna go now to the other room and you have to wait outside?
I think mainly it's like, if you know I'm in the house or we know we're in the house, we communicate. One time we fucked up and me and Marcus came home like earlier or something, and then Alec also came home from work much earlier than expected, so we ran into each other, and then we were trying to have like a date. I just, at a certain point, was like, Alec, would you mind leaving so me and Marcus can have sex? And he was like, yeah, and he like got up and left.
And you guys are okay with that?
Yeah. I don't actually really have a particular problem with it because, like, you don't necessarily have to rely on one person to get everything that you need, emotionally or physically. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's
It's
the
also
other
cool.
really big thing that
Yeah.
that happens in this relationship.
Big note. Could you ever walk in the crib?
Kudos to them.
And then
And that's real shit. That's being very, very sincere. But when you finish, I'll tell you why I feel that way.
okay, but I'm asking you, could you walk into a crib and nigga like, yo, man, yo, no, matter of fact, not even a nigga say that shit. The female turn to you and say, yo, nigga, I'm fucking. Get out. Come back late. In a place that you call your home.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. You know how I feel about that. That's not my deal. But because me knowing me, I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? But again, when I was clapping, I was being very, very sincere about that. You know why? Because what a lot of people, what they did, what she did, and they agreed to it, which had to happen. And I only think I only think Marcus agreed to it because she gonna catch Marcus and Alex fucking one day because them niggas both look sweet. But anyway, that's a whole.
Hey, listen. I heard something in the clip.
Let me get this
They
out, bro.
said something about everybody is sort of. I was like, whoa, what?
But what I was gonna say was, what I feel, what they're doing is something that I say when I do Buns and Bullshit every morning. I say this all the time. What we do as people when we're looking for relationships is we look for relationships to fulfill the things that we want and not the things that we need. They said something very good that I was like, damn, that shit works. But I'm a Taurus and I'm a very jealous hearted type of person that sometimes I can be. So that's the reason why it wouldn't work for me. But everything that they did and the reason they did it, I respected because what they were agreeing with was there was something she needed. She couldn't find it in one person, but she found two people to give her what she needed. And they was cool with it. Just like the clip before that, the bottom line was maybe they didn't like it or whatever. But guess what? They was married for 12 years.
Yeah. They got
so whatever the fuck. So we can sit here and be judgmental about this shit all we want to and look at them and be like, hey, that shit don't look like it worked. Because if he would have if I didn't know, if I was naive to this and this was like a training video for motherfucking Polly, nigga, I would have been like, what the fuck? It would have fucked me up. But this is what I think this has something to do with, in my mind, a little bit more than sex.
Okay.
These people are truly in love with each other, but their love isn't a jealous love. You know what I'm saying? To where I can't see you. But I'm telling you, Alex and Mark she gonna walk in on them niggas watch.
Listen, G. This is what I feel about that. Because remember last week I said, yo, it's a difference when we're looking at it at our age and what we used to and what society is used to right now. Like you said, you think it's gonna work for them. I don't. You know why I don't? Because they mentioned the fact that this was the black dude. I don't know what his name. The black dude.
Marcus.
This is Mark.
That's Marcus. Oh shit! I tried to be good, man, but that just
I can't stand you. This was Marcus's first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Marcus, I wouldn't be surprised if Marcus was the one that walked in and had to leave the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he's so fresh to it. You know what I mean? He's new to this thing. The other dude seemed like like if he end up in the bed with Marcus,
because let me ask you a question, bro. This is what I was. See, this is why
Marcus G. I promise you, Marcus would not be the first boy that he ended up in the bed with.
But see, that's what. Listen, bro. So listen, this is what you saying. I feel to a certain extent. I mean, to a large extent. But what I think is what you was just hitting on is what's gonna be the problem. Marcus ain't there for Allie or whatever the fuck her name is. Marcus there for Alex. You feel what I'm saying? He low key there for Alex, and that nigga ain't trying to see what the dick feel like. He trying to see what pussy feel like for the first time. That nigga, I'm trying to tell you, he said, well, fuck it, I'll just try the pussy for a minute, and if it don't work, I'm gonna go get Alex, because I'm Marcus, darling.
Come on, talk to me.
Why you looking like that, Seiko? I'm just saying. Marcus.
Because as someone who is a switch, as someone who is poly, as someone who
Just
lives this life, and it is not just like a sideline spectator. Everything that y'all just said was foul as shit and a bunch of bullshit.
hey,
Everything.
but guess what?
Everything.
Guess what?
Everything.
You are in that lifestyle.
We
You
not.
feel what I'm saying? What I'm saying to you is when you look at certain people, like I try to open my eyes to give everybody their benefit of the doubt. But when I see bullshit, I see bullshit. I see bullshit with Marcus. Marcus, you not truly in what they're for what you saying. Bottom line, I gather that. I don't give a fuck how it sounds. That's what I gather. But what you meant, what you're real, what you're getting fed, what you're getting offended about is because that's your lifestyle. But guess what? Bullshit happens whether you're heterosexual, whatever, heterosexual, homosexual, whatever. Bullshit happens in all types of relationships. He's being deceiving. That's what I'm saying. So you can get frustrated and think we're being disrespectful. But what I'm saying is that motherfucker's being deceitful. And when she walks in and catches Marcus ass in the bed banging Alex, you understand what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's making it like he's being deceitful in the sense that he wants to be, he's cool. He's new to this. But we automatically think that because he's new to it, it's two heterosexual men and a whatever woman. But why can't he be deceitful and being in this because he like Alex? Why can't that happen?
Wait a minute, G. Listen, wait a minute. I gotta say
Who
one
said
thing.
did they both say they were heterosexual men?
Because I'm being dead serious because she got defended her lifestyle, which is perfectly okay to defend your lifestyle. But my thing is, if you can sit up here and call all men dogs, why can't he be a dog in a poly relationship just like men can be a dog in a fucking heterosexual relationship?
Okay, first of all, I don't call all men dogs.
Don't clarify shit because he's in your lifestyle.
I'm not. Look, hold on. First of all, I don't make excuses for no motherfucking body.
But
Let's
you
get that straight. I make excuses for no damn body.
But you call me
Nobody.
disrespectful
I don't
because
agree
I
with
gave my
anybody saying
opinion.
that they were both heterosexual men.
But you gave me. How do you know that?
How do you know that they're not? How do you know that they are? It was never said they are both straight men. It was never said that.
Ain't that a motherfucking ain't that a situation that you deal with in any type of relationship, in any type of lifestyle? You're missing my point. You said I was being disrespectful, but at the end of the day, I wasn't being disrespectful because I laughed and I joked about it, which is the way I got it across. Shit was real. He could be just as deceitful in that relationship as he can in any other relationship.
What's to say? Here's my point. Just because at no point in time did they say they are both heterosexual men. That was never said. Yes, he said he was new to it. That's all well and good. So just because they decided to say, okay, this is our relationship and this is a new person to our relationship, at no point in time did they say that, because they also both said that it is a relief to be able to have more than one person to go to, not just spiritually, not just physically, but also emotionally. They both said that when they were standing out there feeding them fucking chickens.
Did you hear what I said in the beginning, though? When I said I give them kudos because she was able to find two people that were okay, that gave her everything she needed to obviously be whole. All I said was, in what I felt was, Marcus like boys too. And if she don't know, and if she don't know that, that's him being deceitful. That's what I'm saying. And you're acting like that don't happen, like they're not down low men in heterosexual relationships.
And I never said that. What I said was that was not something that was discussed, so that was not something that necessarily needed to be on the table.
So how was I being disrespectful? Was my because that's
So
what
you said, oh, that's what's gonna happen. You don't know that. Because you don't know that Marcus don't have another girlfriend.
You can say that about any fucking thing we talk about on this show. We don't. It's assumption. I say that all the time. But why did it? Because now we're talking about poly. It got more offensive when y'all sit up and talk about us like a dog.
Y'all offended me, and that's why I ended up having to leave work and come and get on the air. Because y'all offended me the first 5 minutes of the damn show.
I know this.
Whoa, y'all, I offend. Whoa,
yes, y'all.
What did I say to you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, time out. What did I say to you, Seiko? What did Russ say?
You didn't say nothing to me because I wasn't on the air yet.
What?
I was listening. I've been listening since y'all started.
What did I say? Whoa, no. Because see, now you got me agreeing. Now you got me riding with Note. I was in the between. Because now you just threw me in that shit. It was like, y'all was out here. I ain't said nothing about you.
Remember when she came on? Remember when she came on Rush and I said, oh, it would take us to talk about the poly shit to get your ass to pop up on the screen.
No, but I mean, I had been talking the entire time. I was sitting up here texting. Okay, listen. Mr. Wolf, close your ears for a second. I was texting y'all while I was driving home.
Yeah, she did. She did say that. She did say that. I got to give her that.
I love her regardless. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna tell her what I said, and she just don't want to agree with me because I knew prior to. Come on, Maseko, let's be 100, baby. We did this show plenty of times. Well, you know, this piqued your interest, and I'm gonna tell you why I think it piqued your interest. Not because of the topic, because you probably knew if Rush wasn't gonna say that, you knew I was gonna say something. And you had to defend your lifestyle. And I'm not mad at you for that. There's nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying
on Lil Secret. Y'all know half of my lifestyle, so I don't have to defend nothing. Just like I'm one of those people, when folks get to talking shit about you, I be like, oh, is that what you heard? Okay, believe that and believe whatever else you want to add on to it and whatever else anybody else has to say too, because that's not me. As far as defending my lifestyle, it's what I live. It's who I am. I don't give a shit if you like it or not. So no, I didn't come on here to defend my lifestyle. I came on here because I'm on this show on Sundays, and I happened to finish up doing what I was doing and told you I was going to be on here, and I was just going to be late.
Scolding me and pointing your finger in the camera at me because I don't care.
He's fucking with you. Look, he fucking with you now.
Because, man, Seiko know I love her and I give utmost respect to her and her relationships. But all I was trying to get my point across was, it's deceitful shit, and no matter what you do. And no, he may not. No, neither one of them clarified that they were both straight. They could both be bisexual. You could be absolutely right in what you're saying. But for me, again, and bro, you know I say this all the time. This is one of my major problems when we do shit like this, because we have to assume things. That's why I say, Russ, I can understand what Russ says by deal with what we know. That's just hard for me to do. Because I analyze and I pay attention to a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And he just don't seem like the type that was there for her. And if he wasn't, then they should have stressed that. If you didn't stress that, that's on y'all. I'm a media personality. I am allowed to destroy your character. If you don't want to give me everything, I'm allowed to do what I feel like I can say. I'm allowed to do that. Now, so if I feel like you a punk, I feel like you a punk.
And see,
you may be the baddest nigga in the world.
Check this out. I'm a hold on now. See, this is where I have to look at me, Seiko, because you threw me in this conversation. This is where I have to defend that point of view, because there have been a lot of people that in a lot of clips that we didn't watch, and we have all agreed that it was a punk ass motherfucker. They did some punk ass shit. They was a bitch, and we've all talked about them. So I get his point in this particular realm, because the craziest part? Our conversation, because we go into it, we sort of switching off this. But during this show, during the time that we've done the show, I've mentioned a lot of things about me personally, not on this particular show. Let me make that clear. But I've mentioned a lot of things about me personally that niggas have taken as an attack and have come at me, but I've had to, at first I used to be like, and then if you noticed, over time, even with Note, I started saying, yo, me and Note don't agree about shit. You know what I'm saying? But then again, over time, as we've done the show, I've come to understand that me and Note don't agree about everything, and me and you and everybody else that's not on the show right now, we don't agree about everything, but we agree more in likelihood to everything that we stand for than the things that we separated against. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah, I give you that.
Okay. Now let's bring it back in.
We're definitely like-minded individuals. That's why we can have conversations like that.
Yeah. And if you think about when I created the show, Seiko, what was the first thing I said? I said, I do not want people that will be on the fucking air for 2 hours agreeing and talking about shit, and we're not expanding somebody's thought process. Because guess what? You got people listening to the show, and one person might be listening to the show like, yo, I agree 100% with Rush and what Notice saying. And somebody else could be listening to the show saying, I agree 100% with Masako and what she's saying. It's all about how we say, how we feel. That's going to be the difference. And in this particular, if I was the judge in this particular courtroom today, I would give, and I don't give him the fucking gavel that much. I give it to fucking Note.
But you know what's crazy in saying that, bro?
Huh?
If she really, and what's crazy and about the whole thing is if she really realized, I feel what I'm not, I agree with what she's saying. That's my whole point. The difference in why we disagree, not so much disagreeing, is why we don't see it the same way, is because she's coming from the point of a person that's in the lifestyle. I'm coming from a point of a person that's on the outside looking in. But if you caught what I said prior to that, that's how I led all the way up into it. That's what I do. I understand. I knew this was, and not saying she gonna defend. You got to defend your lifestyle, but think about how offended I used to get when motherfuckers talk about bikers. Feel me? How offended you and you know that you couldn't be around me in a biker conversation and motherfuckers start talking that bad about MCs. You can't do that.
I know this for a fact.
You can't do that with me.
I know this for a fact about people on our show, though. Let me put this. How can I say this? People from the original show, because I have to be very clear. You know, I'm not a nigga that's gonna bullshit about nothing off the waves. The people on my original show have shown their loyalty because I have argued with every last one of y'all motherfuckers in some capacity. I believe truly you don't know who is in your corner until you disagree with them. People, you can, when shit is hunky dory and things are going good, yo, ride that shit out. I'm not telling you not to enjoy that shit, but you don't know that person until you disagree. Until you can look at that motherfucker and really have that feeling of, I ain't feeling what you saying. Fuck what you talking about.
And this may be me and Seiko first real like disagreement, other than her telling me how retarded I was back when I was when we first met damn near 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And she used to tell me,
retarded.
yeah, because that's when I was in the MC. I mean, I've always been in the MC shit heavy, but that's when we first started. So I was a whole totally different person. As an outlaw MC, I was a whole totally different person.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. And if it's motherfuckers that may see homosexual men on a motorcycle set with colors on and know that and start talking like all these niggas is under. That's what I meant by that. It was maybe it was a touchy situation to use it as an example, but just what I'm saying is that's the shit that happens. Everybody is deceitful in every realm of aspect of life, no matter what sexual lifestyle you have.
Yeah, that's fact.
Your sexual preference, the things you like to do, have no bearing on the type of person that you are. And to me, I would respect you more if you just come out and say what it is than to what can't you do. I can fuck with you then because I know what to expect.
Yeah.
If you come out and tell me I'm a whole gay man, I like men and women, woo, woo, woo. Hey, that's what's happening. All right, cool. So now you know, nigga, I don't do that. So we cool until you cross that line.
Hold on, no. Can I be real with you, nigga, for 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I get upset with you about, because you have proven tonight that what I want you to do and what you refuse to do sometimes leads to the best conversations. Normally, if I played a clip you wouldn't like, you'd say, fuck that. I ain't know how, ain't how I roll. Am I lying, Seiko? That ain't how I roll. Fuck that shit. Now, when you are really talking about what the fuck you what you believe and how you feel about the shit, it's going beyond the fucking fact that you don't agree with what the fuck you just saw. You telling us why you don't agree. And from that spawns the conversation that we need to have, because this is the conversation that people don't sit here. I'm telling y'all, most motherfuckers is watching Power or watching, some bullshit on TV. They're not talking about shit in real life, because y'all ladies and men will possibly meet somebody in your time that might try to bring that shit to you. And you might be that young nigga that has never experienced the shit that somebody is talking to you.
Because I never knew Seiko was in that lifestyle when I first met her. If she was there yet. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
The only thing that sounds familiar to me about how you met Seiko and how I met Seiko met me. That's how we started this show. Because Seiko came at me because I made a fucking post. I just said something. And she was
Okay, no, let's be real honest.
It was like, what the fuck, you motherfucker. I was like, yo.
You probably gonna choke me when I tell her.
Listen, we had never seen each other talk to nothing. I said, if you want to have this conversation, I said, I used to have a fucking show. I said, because I had retired it too. Remember, we had had that whole conversation. I said, I retired the show. I said, well, why don't we go on here and talk about what the fuck we disagree about? And it was supposed to be one episode. It was just supposed to be one conversation, because she came at me so fucking. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even really recognize what the fuck I had said.
He gave one of those, when I said earlier, you can't use the Webster's dictionary definition. And he used the Webster's dictionary definition for polyamorous. And I can't even say it was Webster's dictionary. I don't know where it came from. But it referenced basically having sexual relationships. And I was just like, hey, that's swinging. That's not poly. Because swinging is about the sex and poly is about the connections, the relationships, and the love.
Okay.
And that started a whole show.
This is what the post said. Characterized by or involved in the practice of engaging in multiple romantic, then it said in semicolons, in typical sexual, and then it said relationships with the consent of people around. That's what the original definition of polyamorous is. They don't have it's an adjective. They don't have any you know how most you look up most words, they get it's a noun that goes with it, or something that describes it. The only other word that describes it is poly, and the word poly does not really even have an adjective.
Hey, can I say something real quick? This is gonna be real quick.
Yeah.
Why you look? I'm being haven right now, Seiko. I'm on some good shit right now. I'm on some good shit right now, Seiko. So don't look at me like. But no, what I wanted to ask was, because Russ, what you just said, I 100% agree with, in the simple fact of this. I said this the other day. Nothing on one of my shows, nothing that we do is of our own mind. Dig what I'm saying? They call it teaching, I call it programming. What Seiko just said, I feel her 110%, because this is coming from a dictionary of motherfuckers who, Webster, who the fuck are you? Who told you? How do you know? Have you experienced any of this? Because I'm gonna be honest, sitting right here, right now, watching what I just watched.
I'm gonna elaborate on this, but listen to this. You said how many people, rock with that, but how many people say they are that, but don't even know the terminology or the definition, or which Masako would give as the definition of polyamorous? And
I would take her.
That's what the fuck that they do.
I would take her definition before I took Webster's.
I would too. I would too, because I know this nigga's crazy.
Real shit. I would take, because she lives that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I know this ain't where we was going with this, but I'm gonna just say this: when we have been people, like I said, we have been programmed. They call it teaching. We've been programmed. If at the end of the day, with what we know, we don't know of our own free mind. We didn't just get up one day and say we agree with 1 + 1 being 2. We didn't do that. That shit was taught to, what they say taught to us. No, that shit was programmed in us.
Now they teaching new math.
Exactly. They're programming a new set to run the way they want to run. You feel what I'm saying? So I would take the advice of a person who's actually living, doing on a daily basis than I would over a motherfucker that's just sitting in somebody's motherfucking plush office. You know what I'm saying? Say, hey, I think I'm going to tell them that this means this. That's what I'm going to do, because the root word of this is Latin and the origin of this word came from here. And I'm going to throw this shit together and we're going to make them believe that this is what it means.
But this is the craziest part about that. Even that person that has that perception, they all get it from somewhere. And because this is my question. Mistake. Did you become polyamorous without somebody else explaining to you what polyamorous was and gave you an understanding for you to say, well, this is what the polyamorous lifestyle is, so that you could have this conversation with me right now and say, well, I disagree with what y'all saying.
And can I add to that? Can I add to that?
Sure.
Would you also agree with what you thought when you first came in here might be at least a little bit or more different than what you know now being in it?
Or the people that I described that say that they're in it, that you agree with when I say that they don't fuck around with what it is, because the reason I'm not in it is because I've read and done research on the shit. I've read certain things like, I said, no, I can't fuck with that. Oh, I can't fuck with that. I can't.
Okay, so I'm just going to start with the fact every person's experience is different. I will say I was polyamory before I understood what polyamory was. My original attraction was to females. I come from a very well-known, semi-influential, very connected family, and that includes several ministers. So you wasn't Gary do no homosexual nothing up in our camp, and it was going to be accepted. So my first actual boyfriends were pretty much beards for me. And then it got to a point where I was just like, you know what? But I like this. I enjoy having both that male and that female energy because that keeps me balanced. So polyamory, I heard that term for the first time maybe about 5 years ago. I've lived and been, so see, I'm one of those people who I will tell you in a heartbeat, I don't have polyamorous relationships. I am polyamorous because this goes back to me being 15, 16, 17 years old. This has been my life, my entire life. I was married and had a girlfriend. This has been my life, my entire life, and I don't know nothing, polyamory and all. Like I said, first time I heard the term was probably about 5 years ago, and I was like, oh, y'all got a name for it? Oh, that's cool. But this is how I live my life. It is not some fashion, some fad, some trend, some BS I picked up along the way. This is simply how I have lived my life,
and
even
see,
in knowing. So I kept my life hidden for years because I was just like, just like anything else that's out of the ordinary, I was like, okay, this is not getting ready to be socially acceptable.
Let me tell you something about what you said that I agree with, because this is another reason why I say I will never fall up under any category of sexual preference. And when I say sexual preference, please understand I am strictly for the ladies. I'm not fucking around with nothing else. So I want to make sure I'm making that very clear. But when it comes down to what needs to be done for me, it's about how my lifestyle is on a daily basis. It does not determine a subtitle.
Yeah.
people be like, Rush, that's Rush. If you've been through something good or bad with me, you're gonna be like, that's Rush. And the people that's on this line know that they've had conversations with me outside of the radio show where they know the conversations between Rush and Russell. And Russ and Rush are not that different. They are the same, but one runs a company, one does music, one does, and they, even though that's me, but when I take all that shit off and I sit in the crib and I'm by myself, it's Russell. It's the name my mama gave me. The name I did not like when I was a kid. The name that I had to grow up to respect. The name I had to put respect on.
At least yours is black. Carl.
Listen. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, bro.
How many black Carls do you know?
Bro. When I was a young kid, bro, I knew no Russells. Russell did not become popular until Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
Okay, at least you had Russell Simmons, bro. I had Carl Winslow.
No, but listen. But listen, the Winslow might throw people off. But I knew a bunch of guys that were black named Carl. I knew
didn't.
I did. I knew nobody named Russell. Let alone
I think I went to school with.
Let alone Russell S. Rayburn the Third. Where I was like, man, that is so fucking white. G. I was thinking when I was a little kid, that is so fucking. When people when I would go to school,
Carl Patrick Thompson Jr.
Bro, I'd have rolled that shit. I'd be like, Carl Patrick right here, nigga. That's me.
No.
And they would say Russell back in the day. I'd be like, man. They get the whole name, and I just be like, man, run through that shit. Because I always knew, because listen, when you in school and you young, you remember they read shit in alphabetical order. So you knew you were coming last. I knew I was coming towards the last. And I was sort of hoping that niggas was sort of, by that time, the classroom was sort of be talking and not paying attention to what the fuck my name was.
Hey, can I ask you a question, bro?
I love to write my name on a fucking job application and say,
Let me ask you a question. What made you change to get to that point?
Bro.
Until you got to the point where you actually looked at your name and was like, man,
bro,
fuck this. I like this.
I'm gonna tell you what took me to that point. It was when I was going to get a job, bro. And it wasn't in this era of typing your name in and then,
it was hand signatures.
I had to go to a place and I recognized that when they called my name and they said, Russell, come on, and I walk back there, they would look at me and be like, oh, you a nigga. Because that would be the look on their face. You a nigga. And then it would come down to my conversation, how it would dictate the conversation, whether I would get the job or not. 9 times out of 10, if I went for a job, I could get it because I could talk to them and do what I need to do. But
that's one of the main reasons I fuck with you like I do, bro. Because even though you 45, I'm only 4 years older than you. That same shit, I was in corporate America for a long time, bro. That's why motherfuckers be like, man, I could get jiggy if I want to. I'm just not comfortable I'm just not comfortable.
He cleans up real nice. I'm just saying.
When I want to get out, I get out. Motherfuckers should have seen, if you seen what I had on last night, motherfuckers like, damn. I was like, when I want to, I can. But that is why the narrative of what I'm trying to change about the whole dynamic of black men and women and our relationships with each other and the things that we do differently. When you said Russell Simmons, bro, Russell Simmons is my idol. Yeah. And a lot of people won't understand why. The reason why is because he kicked in the door, and I don't need to wear no suits and tie and all this shit. You motherfuckers gonna either listen to me or you ain't. And if you don't worry about it.
But I'm saying that name wasn't respected amongst our community. Like it wasn't no name that you go and fuck with, Todd, everybody had nicknames, and then you had Russell. Because then guess what? It came down to that thing of, am I Russ or Russell? Because guess what? You don't feel what I'm saying? Like, do I say?
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you what it was for me, bro.
Russell.
I'm going to tell you, because My last name before my last name until my sophomore year in high school was Deer. Carl Deer. My mama was married to my oldest two sisters' dad, and she never had her last name changed when they separated. So when she got married, just like typically now, when a woman and a man have a child and the woo 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 and this happens, they normally take their mother's last name.
Right.
My dad was in the war. He was in Vietnam. That's why he wasn't there to sign my birth certificate. So for the longest, I went under Carl Deer, Carl Deer, Carl Deer. Then my daddy was just like, fuck it, nah, we ain't doing this shit no more. That's not your name. This is woo-woo. And we went and got my name changed. That to me, at that time, at 14, 15 years old, I didn't understand what was going on. You feel what I'm saying? All I know is, nigga, this shit sound white as hell. Who the Carl Patrick Thompson Jr.? No, nigga, I don't want that.
Yeah. You got that suffix on the end of your shit. It's the third, the fourth, because
all that shit is something that fucks with your head once you get. And I was just like, but then, bro, you know what happened? I started getting older, and I started hearing the respect that my daddy had in the city in which I am right now. The type of shit, and it wasn't respect on no bullshit level, like a motherfucker coming through being gangster on some shit and yo woo 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 this, that, and the third. Nah, it was all about being a good person. When motherfuckers tell you about my dad and that name, and the more I get so happy when I like, motherfucker, what you mean I can't sign? No, I want to sign some shit. I don't want to do no auto docs. I don't want to do none of that shit. I want you to see this John Hancock. I'm proud of this motherfucker now.
And see, and that's so funny because, of course, I had the opposite experience. So my name, first of all, to this day, people don't say my name right. But my name, I was named after a country and after the king of said country. You not get ready to decide that my name is anything other than African. It ain't gonna happen. And so for the longest time, I didn't go by my name. So I threw people off in corporate America because coming up, my nickname was Kenny. So it may say Kenny Humphrey, and so folks is just expecting some little white man here he show up. Hey, boo.
I'm trying to tell y'all trying to figure out how we tying all this shit together. I don't know if you caught the beginning of the show. I said today's show will be about love, that's the name of the show. Real talk, what's love got to do with it?
Love got to do with it.
And I said, well, we talk about a lot of sexual shit and we be listening a lot on the show. I said, well, when was the last time we looked at love from the perspective that we know? That's how we started off with just, the basic loves. And now we at a point where it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But I said this once before. My brother lived a lifestyle that I wish that when I was younger, I would have loved him in a different way. I hated him because I didn't know his story. You know what I'm saying? He was an older kid, so he went through a certain turmoil that I did not see, didn't recognize. I was just a kid. And he had a whole different lifestyle growing up than I even, understood. And at that time, back in the 90s, y'all know the shit we talk about right now, this show wouldn't be on air. We'd be the villains of the world if you was on here talking about you was the
Seiko, I thought you fired up a blunt or something. I was about to say, what the fuck? Where is that smoke coming? What you doing over there? I just see smoke. Like, I see the candle when you put it up there. But yeah, I was about she done came to the dark side. Yay!
Oh Lord,
I ain't laid out on the floor on the oxygen tank. I ain't smoking nothing. Shut up.
We got 10 minutes left in the show, so I'm about to play all these clips because we sort of off topic. And I'm gonna ask for like 10 minutes past that, and then I'm gonna shut the show down because I know we want to end the show on time. I want to start working on ending the show on time.
Question is, how do you know if the person that you're with is the one?
Stay tuned to find out.
what's up? This is Monty.
And I'm Nayeli.
Married with the Scotts. So you found the person that you're dating or hope to marry, but how do you know if they're the one?
How did you know I was the one?
Can I get through my spiel? There's no sure way to know the person's the one, but there are signs. How I knew you were the one, you know how they say opposites attract? Mm-hmm. So physically we were opposite. She's Mexican, I'm black, I'm tall, she's short. I'm calm, she has a temper. Like we basically were opposites on the spectrum, okay? But you can be opposites and attract, but the core values have to be the same. So that's one sign you know if someone's for you or the core values the same. And give an example of some core values that we have, like that were the same, that you knew. Because I know you wanted me, girl.
So a huge thing for me, obviously, God, that you believe in God and go to church. I grew up Catholic, and he was raised apostolic, but that was one of the main things. And two is that we came from like very good, pretty tight families. I know my mom and dad always instilled in us. One, I know they would prefer that my brothers and I would marry Mexican people.
What?
But
that's why they don't like me? Nah, they love me.
My parents were born and raised in Mexico.
They love me.
My parents were born and raised in Mexico. I'm a child of immigrant parents. Although the chances of us marrying Mexican people were much higher than when they brought us to Reynoldsburg.
It's like 90% Mexican.
1992, and it was nothing but like white people, a sprinkle of some black people, and no Hispanics because my mom was depressed forever. But anyways, so they would prefer that we married someone that had a mother and a father in the home, that they had been married forever.
So spirituality was one.
Yeah.
And then second, we're really strong in family base.
Yeah.
Like we're both really believe in family.
Yeah.
So those are the basic, that's unique. For us, those are the signs that we look for. Opposites do attract, but the core values have to be in line with each other for it to work for the long haul.
Right.
And then the more you date that person or involve with that person, you'll see what their core values are because they're going to show you through their actions. And that's basically it. So look for the core values. Let us know in the comments what you look for, you know, some of the signs you look for, or if you have any questions.
All right, what's your core values, Big Note?
Be you 100% of the time. Is just me. Don't give me that mask. Don't do none of that shit. I don't care. I'm a wide open person. I value you as a person. If I'm going to have love for you, it's an unconditional love. There are no conditions for my love. You don't have to be this. You don't have to be that. What you have to be is you. It's plain and simple. Be you. Because I'm going to respect that all day. And that's what I love. I respect love, loyalty, and be honest. That's just it.
Maseko, talk to me.
So for me, I agree with everything the note said. Be yourself. But then the other thing part about that is I am a strong personality. I understand this. I know this. And to actually be a man in my life is, I'm sure, challenging at times. But to have the energy it takes to balance me, to bring out the other sides of me, and that I can do that with them. But most importantly, that embraces and loves all of me and my craziness and I'm going to put my foot down, whether it is I am being a dominant or I am being a brat. But the person that can embrace all of me and can balance her, yeah, that's it.
You pretty easy to deal with, Seiko.
I'm pretty easy for you to deal with because when y'all get on my nerves, I just flip y'all off and turn my camera off.
I mean, but that's okay, and that's you. And then we gonna bug the shit out of you until you be like,
wait a minute, time the fuck out.
I'm gonna bug the shit out of you until you answer me.
Wait a minute, I've been real good to Maseko. This is the
You
third.
feel what?
This is the third time you done came at me like a bulldozer and just threw me into the y'all conversation. So is this? This is my question, Big Note.
Hey,
This
bro, you can't be bailing out on me, man.
no,
When we started
This
this,
is my
it was
question,
me
bro.
and you.
No, this is my question to her though. Is this a male dominant conversation that you want to have because you're trying to make us your submissives and we won't be your submissives? We
No
refuse
better.
to fall for the tricks of the enemy that the devil has set before. Sandable
Nah.
see.
Y'all don't appeal to me on that level, and so I don't deal with y'all on that level.
Drop that in my ear.
Look, bro, just
Listen, y'all
remember.
don't appeal to me on that level, so I don't deal with y'all on that level.
Wave your
When
hand. Wave your hand if you're against the devil tonight, Big Note.
Just,
Wave your hand if you're against the
I
devil.
ain't gonna call it a devil, bro. I can't raise my hand. See that? Wait a minute. Wait. Look at the eye. Look at the eye. Wait.
Down the street
Wait. I'm trying to. I might just change my mind. Look at the horns on her eyebrows.
No, G.
I might have just. Yeah, man. I'm gonna raise my hand.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna ask you a question, G.
I just say the horns and
No,
the
I'm gonna ask you a
eyebrows.
question, G. Is it a difference when you're just walking down the street and you see your buddies arguing and you be like, oh, they just arguing. And then you just walk out the store and then one of the buddies just be like, nigga, and still on your ass, you be like, yo, what the fuck I do? I've been all night taking the mail banner because you know I'm gonna ride with the mail banner either way it go. You can talk your shit. You can stand on that side of the fence. I'm gonna laugh and I'm gonna talk my shit. Like I was laughing so hard earlier. If y'all pay attention to this video, if y'all watch this shit again, when y'all first start going at it, I start holding my side because my muscle had contracted so hard. I was laughing so hard I couldn't even fucking laugh anymore. I couldn't even be like, I would have died on the fucking show. And you come
Bro,
at me and she
ask
be
her one question.
What's that?
Who was the first one? Who was the first motherfucker she called when y'all put this show together?
I believe it was you. It was a tie. It was a tie.
I had never even met you though.
It was between you and that other little nigga that ain't on the show that won't be putting her titties up all on the show with with the colorful hair. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I told no first.
Yeah.
When you and I very first created the show, and we very first started talking about it, and we talked about who we wanted on the show. The very first person, I love Queen to death, and she knows it. And man, she was a close second. But the very first person I called, the first person to convince me that I needed my own spot, and so that was no.
I had been told her that, like,
yeah.
I've been in it for a minute. I ain't been, and she knows what you see behind me has been my whole sole purpose for at least the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
That's been my sole purpose. I've had and I don't know what it is. I'm laughing right now at this because I used to get shitty at Russ when he would say this, like, this nigga don't even respect what I do. Because he used to always say power 92. I don't know why, but listen, everybody that makes the mistake says power 92.
Yeah, because this is Chicago.
This
is Chicago station.
It is some. I was like, I mean, everybody is like, man, you've been banging with Power 92. I'm like, I don't even get frustrated. I'd be like, why does everybody wear? Does that look like a like what the fuck? But it's a respect thing, man. And it's like I said, when she called me, I ain't even hesitate. I was like, oh yeah, you know I'm with that. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm down with that. But
absolutely.
And we always go back to Russ, our first conversation in that meeting. And hey man, listen, let me.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm gonna be real with y'all. The first meeting, they was cool. About the third meeting, I was just like, oh shit, this is not gonna work. Yeah. And I'm telling y'all, I'm not a real religious person, but I started praying. I'm like, Lord Jesus. Lord, help us.
I'm gonna tell you what changed my whole disposition. We was on the show one day, and for some reason, this nigga said, "Russ don't even know this." He said, "But I respect everything that he's doing." He said, "Because what he's doing is what's needed, and And I sat there and I said, man,
I remember that conversation because I remember you sending me messages
I
going,
said
"What
on the
the
show, I
fuck
was,
is
yeah, I
that?
did. I was like, man, fuck.
What
Because
the
Like,
fuck is
like, understand
I'm
this.
a
If
real
you
nigga,
have
man.
any dream, if you have any dream of your own, and if you know, if you're not a person that goes to work for somebody else every day, and I'm not knocking anybody that
But
does,
it does. Me either.
but if you have a dream of your own, you want to see it go a certain way, and you know, you have conversations with people, and this is what that taught me though. There will come a point, and I'm speaking this shit into existence. There will come a point where I will have to have a conversation with somebody that I may not agree with, but I still have to be business with.
Oh,
And
yeah, we all do that.
no, but
So,
listen what I'm saying.
wow.
And the reason that we may not disagree does not mean that they do not respect what I'm doing. I do not see the vision behind what I'm doing. It was just
Yep.
because I still believe what you know what I was thinking about and what we you know what we was talking about can still
You
come to
supposed to.
yeah.
You
You know what
supposed
I'm
to.
saying? I believe
It's
it
still
is. But I
great.
think we had to go through this storm, and you know, and
It's always what it is.
you feel
It's
what I'm saying?
always what it is. It's
And like
always.
I said earlier, there is not a person on this earth that I say I'm cool with that I've never been through nothing with. I can be all right with you. I can say you are, you know, a wonderful person because I ain't, you know, because my interaction with you has not even led me in a direction to have a disagreement with you. It's a lot of like I've had people say, well, you get online and you talk to people this way, and I said, well, you know, I don't know that motherfucker. I just said, you know, I just responded to a post. That's not me knowing that person. Me knowing you is a different conversation. And what I learned through this whole process is learning to agree to disagree and still put together.
It's okay.
Listen, what did I tell you? Listen, I told this to know before we started the show. Because everybody that knows how many people are it's supposed to be 6 of us, I think, on the show. 5 or 6 of us. And I told Note just before the show. I said, yo, bro, every week before the show, I'm anxious. It's almost like I'm doing the very first show. I'm wondering who's gonna fucking, you know, be on the air, who's gonna be there. And every time his face pops up on the fucking screen, I'd be like, this is the one nigga that when I first started this shit, I didn't know if we would be where we at this point. I have other shows, and when niggas don't show up for them shows, I be like, yo, no, G, what you doing? He be like, nigga, I'm asleep. I'm in the bed. I be like, can you jump on this show right now? The only reason that y'all have seen certain shows is because one day I was on the air with this nigga and I said, man, I'm gonna stop not doing shows, even if don't nobody even show up. And somebody said on that show, like, oh, you can do it. You know, you should be. And I said, but no, you don't understand. For me, the show is supposed to move with the people that I see. Like me and Note was having a funny conversation before Maseko got online. Because I know Maseko has a different state of mind. If Kim was online, this conversation
Big double.
from the very first clip, we may not even get to the clips that I gotta play right now. You know what I'm saying? Because the variety of thought process would have changed the conversation. But I had to get used to, well, what if it's just me? So, like every fucking show now, I got like 10 clips. Every fucking show. And I do that for think about how many clips I didn't play on every show lately. Every show I got I've played 10 clips. Or at least 7, because if the conversation picked up, it dropped. The number of how many clips I got has dropped. But right now, I got 2 clips that I can use for the next show because I can tie it into that. Beforehand, I didn't have that. And I would not have had that if I wasn't put in a position where Seiko got to be at work, Kim got to deal with the kids. Nope.
You remember the saying, bro? The show must go on.
Must go on.
This show must go on.
And I think that was part of me tonight, even though I'm in my office. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all got a whole different dynamic because the people in my office now have to listen to the show on Sunday. If y'all call me in for a deployment, guess what? We listening to the show. And if I have to jump online for whatever reason, guess what? Y'all still listening to the show. I don't care. Y'all made me leave my home, so this is what it is. But so like when y'all kicked off the show, you know, we were finishing up, but like I hit y'all beforehand. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get on there, but I'm gonna be late because I'm finishing up. So yeah, my staff heard the very beginning of the show,
Oh, they
and they
heard
were
us.
like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. I got this." And they were like, "We want to listen." I'm like, "Y'all might not want to hear this today because
Hey,
I
Russ,
don't want y'all looking at me. I don't want y'all looking at me crazy when I come up
now
in here
I
tomorrow."
know where
Okay?
now I know where it came from. Bitch, no, really? Now I know. Good, she was saying. You gotta let us know that, man. If I'd have knew that, I wouldn't have done that, Seiko. I swear I wouldn't. If I'd have knew you was at work, you should have hit us on the inline. Like,
I
man,
said, I'm working.
I didn't know people was around you. I thought you kind of worked solo. My bad. I apologize. Hey, if y'all still listening, I'm sorry.
Listen, on Tuesday nights and
Every
Thursday
time y'all
nights,
help us.
on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, it got to the point where I don't care if it's just me and Note on air. On Sunday nights, I'll be like, even if they not on air, somebody, because this is gonna be the crazy part. Even though Kim is not on air right now,
she
when
listening.
When I wake up in the morning, Kim's gonna have like 7 fucking comments. She's gonna say something on the show. And that's what I love about this particular show, because even though we have to go through, like, when people ask me how many people on the show, like, you know, sometimes I have to describe what the show is to people that don't know what the show is. And I'll be like, we got like, you know, well, how many people on the show? I'll be like, we got like 6 people on each show, 5 to 6 people on each show. Well, include me, you know, 5 to 6 people on each show. So
multiply them attitudes
like
by
2 or 3 people. I'd be going through a thing, but I'm getting to a point now. I feel much better because I know if it's just gonna be an hour, me and Note gonna be able to run it. If nothing else, if his ass ain't chasing fucking radishes in fucking Pittsburgh, you know, like, this nigga will get on the road in the minute, be like, yo, nigga, I'm sorry, I forgot. No, this nigga, there's so many conversations. This nigga say, yo, G, I forgot the computer at the crib. I'm in Idaho. And then wait a minute, this be the funny part. Masako will come on the post out of nowhere. Where the fuck you at? Nigga, you went out of town. I just be cracking up at these niggas, man.
Man, y'all know, man, it don't be nothing for me to just like my September is like, I don't know how I'm gonna pull this shit off. And then I'm gonna tell y'all now, bro, and it ain't nothing against nobody. December 1st, your boy going on hiatus. You probably won't see much of me on Facebook, and I'm probably not gonna do too many shows. I gotta do some cleansing, getting ready to go into the new year, bro.
I mean, nigga, listen,
I'm shutting it down for the whole month of December.
Bust all the nuts you need to bust in 3 minutes, nigga. I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
I just got if I could get a couple of them off, that'd be even more wonderful. But nah, I just gotta be. I gotta. Yeah, I'm going into 2022 on some new shit. So December, I'm shutting it down.
Hey, listen, y'all. I'm about to play these last clips, and I promise y'all they are short clips. They are not long clips. I'm gonna play them, and then we're gonna talk, and then we out of here. I want to be done by 9:10, but goddamn it, we just kept doing this shit.
Your fears are right. You probably won't ever find the right person. It seems harsh to say it just now, but the right partner for you doesn't really exist. There are just different varieties and degrees of wrongness. It's not your fault or theirs. Anyone, however lovely they seem at first, will turn out to be maddening, difficult, and deeply disappointing in a few, but to you very important ways. You are carrying the burden of romanticism and are suffering from it gravely. You have been made sick by the beguiling but fatally oppressive fantasy that there is a specific person you're meant to be with who will end the longing, who will be your soulmate, sexual companion, chauffeur, housekeeper, co-parent, business partner, and best friend. You see them so clearly in your mind. That's because you made them up. But they don't, in fact, exist. Advertising, films, and music have done their utmost to convey to us that people do eventually, after a little heartache, find their ideal other, their long-lost twin. It's a very powerful idea to lean on when you're trying to sell a stranger a concert or a movie ticket. But it isn't true. The number of people around the world who are profoundly emotionally, sexually, practically, and intellectually happy with a partner for more than a brief period is tiny. These lucky souls could, if gathered, comfortably fit on a small island in the Maldives. You're unlikely to be among them, and you won't win the lottery either. However, this doesn't have to be the end. There is a more mature idea of love around that stresses how invariably compromised all good relationships are. Compatibility is an achievement of love. It shouldn't be its precondition. We manage to live wisely and comfortably around one another when we stop insisting that our partners must constantly share all of our tastes, interests, and opinions. It's more than normal to be really quite lonely in large parts of our emotional lives. An important factor behind almost any decent relationship is the capacity of each partner to manage cheerfully on their own. Relationships don't solve the problem of loneliness for very long. It's easy to lament how awful other possible partners are, but reflect on the ways you are difficult to live with too. You must be to a significant degree, not because you're unusually freakish, but because everyone carries with them a range of flaws and failings that show up horribly on close inspection. You will, to a significant extent, be ruining the life of anyone you get together with long term. Stop looking for a perfect partner and start looking for that far nicer and more enticing prospect, a good enough one. The fact that no one will be ideal doesn't mean that another person will have nothing to offer. It's just that what we need from them will arrive wrapped up in a lot of things we don't need and don't want. Hopefully, the long, painful single period hasn't just been wasted time. It's been a training ground for the true spirit of compromise and gratitude that lasting love demands.
What you think about that? I want to hear that in 1 minute. I want to go with Seiko, then I want to go Big Note. Then we're going to watch all that. Oh, y'all faces. I was watching y'all when it first started. Y'all was like, "This some bullshit." And then when it kept going, I was like, "Well, wait a minute. Okay."
Well, like I said, on a lot of levels, I agree with that. But there's some, of course, as with anything we watch, some fundamental disagreements with that. But I think overall,
Okay, we just lost her real quick. Okay, talk to me, Big Note. We just lost her.
Hey, listen, man. I need that clip, bro. And I might need you to get on with me in the morning on Blunts and Bullshit. Or, no, we going on Tuesday. That motherfucker right there, bro.
Yeah.
That motherfucker hit hard. Real shit. That motherfucker had some real shit that they was saying. Like, what I just said earlier, motherfuckers be looking for motherfuckers to feel themselves in a certain way when you should be looking to fill a void. If you know, we are so I keep saying program or taught to go find this perfect companion and this, that, and the third. But 9 times out of 10, that perfect companion, y'all have similarities in places that are detrimental and really hurting y'all motherfucking relationship. Because if neither one of y'all are good with money, I don't give a fuck how much money you get. If neither one of y'all are good with managing money, y'all are gonna fuck that money up. It's gonna happen. But because we get so caught up in the superficial shit we're looking for a mate, Like me, I know I'm not good with money, bro. I swear to God, I'm the type of nigga, and people may think I'm crazy. This is the type of shit, but I'm dead fucking serious. I would have no problem with signing my check to my wife. That's all I'm saying. I felt a lot of shit that was going on. People just need to know themselves. Period.
Absolutely.
Okay, Stick, don't talk to me. What do you feel about that? I'm sorry you got disconnected.
So that's okay. So I unfortunately, I know it's weird as that sounds. I have to agree with Note. So there are things that I know. There are areas where I lack, and then there are areas where I am overwhelming, and so I've come to accept that about myself. I have also come to understand and to embrace that there are areas of my life that I needed a partner that could accept and deal with those things. And so it's not a matter of this person is perfect, because I'm gonna promise you, if anybody were to look at our two lifestyles, or anybody was to look at the hell, even our damn astrological zodiac signs, they'd be like, no, but it works.
Very interesting. Getting into our last clip and then we out of here.
The one you love sits across from you at breakfast. Maybe it's your sister, or your father, or the one who holds you closer than any other person. Between you is the coffee, or your cell phone, or the Atlantic Ocean, or a pillow covered in your mother's tears, or your self-esteem again. He says, calm down. You feel the truth claw its way out of your throat. Pass the butter, you say, used to the part where everyone asks how you are and you say okay and they believe it. Your survivor's guilt makes you apologetic. I talk a lot, sorry. I think too fast, sorry. I count the exits in a room as quickly as I count the exits in a conversation, sorry. You try to control it. But that morning, anxiety ties your lover to the bed and says, let's play. She brings all her friends, the trembling legs, the sweaty palms, the indoor voice, your relationship. You've only officially been awake for 15 minutes and you've already imagined every scenario of things that could go wrong on this day. There are still 20 minutes left until your alarm rings, so you imagine everything that will go wrong tomorrow. Then it rings. When he smiles, the war packs her things and says, I'm leaving. The ceiling isn't inches from your face. The walls stop closing in, and you're back in Paris under that starless sky. You think about kissing him, but the imam walks in, dangling salvation from the tip of his prayer beads, saying things about how God speaks softly and carries a big stick as if his sermons weren't phallic enough already. Then your mom brings eternal damnation into the picture, and the temperature rises. You're not sure if it's you're not sure if it's his eyes or hell. Heaven, hell, and adolescent hormones are picking you apart in that order. You feel like a lie in that red dress, but you kiss him anyway. And for a moment, you can breathe without a ticking time bomb on your oxygen tank. You recognize the irony of a Muslim with a bomb metaphor and pray to God the CIA can't hear your thoughts. The city falls away around you. The night air feels like a summer harvest. The CIA, the imam, and your mother convene in the corner. The Bible starts looking at you funny. You kiss him again and think this must be how the Atlantic feels when she tastes the Pacific on a breath of wind. But fear clamps down on your throat. So he says it first, too soon and too quickly. You listen anyway. Bite down that thing you read somewhere about how those who love first are the first to go. When he looks at you, forget everything. Spend the next eternity making up for not saying it first. Carry him the way the Nile carries Lake Victoria. Hold him the way a traveler hangs on to the North Star. Love him the way the Dead Sea loves Mount Everest. How they envelop the peaks and troughs of this planet. Let his best days sink into your worst days into his best, and make home of this. Every rain, every drop of water, every body of land makes you think of him. And you're both from the desert. So you can't help but think you've spent your entire life at his mercy. When he leaves you, it doesn't stop raining. You're left drenched in the desert, something you prayed for, but with nothing to save the water. You start to wonder if the continents ever call for each other on the cold nights, or if Venus ever reaches for Saturn, or if the moon ever wants to come home. I tried to forget you, sunk all your memories in the river, but the waves keep tossing them back. I want to believe that I'll see you again, but we don't live long where I'm from. Venus is weeping in my arms. The hardest part about watching you leave is that you can. Anxiety ties you to the bed. The war unpacks her things.
Seiko, talk to me. How did you feel about that?
I felt that in my spirit. As far as like anxiety, anxiety tying you to the bed. Yeah, well, okay, I like tying to the bed anyway. But anyway, but anxiety tying you to the bed is, as far as, this person that you love and that you're so into and that, you breathe their air and they are the air that you breathe. And then you're just kind of like, by the time you even get up for the day, you've imagined 15 different scenarios where things have gone wrong. So yeah, I get that.
Big no.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at my nigga Rush. He done pulled the streaming legend out. This is what everybody I notice is doing. If you look at bro from the top, you would think bro got a nice pair of khakis on and some dude. That nigga just stood up to turn that light on. G got on some basketball shorts.
I'm a gangster, G.
This was hey, because if I stood up, y'all be like, these niggas is retarded. But anyway, hey man, that was like so. Hey man, I'm gonna tell you something. It's just weird. It's just crazy. And motherfuckers might think I'm a little buzzed, but I'm on some real shit. When you start to elevate and learn yourself, certain shit you start to you know how and I bullshit sometimes with Chris, but Brush, you know how every blue moon you hit there, and I'm not mocking you because I just really don't know what you be saying, but I know what you that when you speak in tongues type thing, like and there's people out there that may understand that when they get to a level speaking tongues. I don't know.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now, G. If a nigga tells you that they understand anything that somebody talking in tongue, they
lying.
They better have an interpretation written all over them.
So understand what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Some motherfuckers can do that, but if you're not in that place, you can't, bro. If I would have watched that 2 years ago, I wouldn't understand shit she was saying.
I feel
this is where I'm going with that. I wouldn't understood shit she was saying. But once I got to a point where Ish love her to death, and this is why she started to teach me shit about learning and loving myself and understanding who I am and what I do and why I'm here. I was sitting here just, if you was watching like I know you always do, I was shaking my head like, damn, I'm really sitting here tripping because I get this shit now.
Absolutely.
I get this shit now.
When I tell you I felt every word, I was just like, ooh.
Right. Like, damn, she's spitting some shit. I would have said,
like, oh.
Yo, when
3 years ago, I would have been in the crowd snapping like a motherfucker talking about, hey man, what that bitch was talking about? What she was talking about? Like,
listen, I'm a paraphrase it. She said, when I'm looking at you, because she was obviously speaking about Muslim love. She said, when I look at you, and I'm torn between the fact of motherfucker might just kick this door in because they might fuck with you on a certain level. They just might come in here. But I love you so fucking much. I said, God damn. I said, that might be the one piece of the poem that didn't nobody catch. Because everybody want love, but don't nobody talk about wanting somebody that's going to go through shit with them.
I got a club, brother. I'm about to tell y'all some real shit. I got a club brother who's married to, well, him and his wife both. They straight up stones. You know what I'm saying? They about that life. She done took bullets for my bro. Real shit. And she'll tell you in a heartbeat about this with her husband. They're married. And a lot of motherfuckers may say that's crazy and that's this and that's this, whatever. That's unconditional love because it has nothing to do with what he does for her physically or nothing like that. It's what he provides for her as a wife. Protection. He protects her. He'll go against the world if a motherfucker go against his wife. And that's what he's supposed to do in my mind. I don't give a fuck what situation you are in. poly, biker, swinging, whatever. At the end of the day, if you're not ready to fully provide what that person needs, and you're only in it for a sexual interest, you, my friend, are bullshitting.
Absolute bullshit.
And you need to move the fuck on and let people that are going to love each other.
Say that
Get
shit.
out the way of the person that's meant for them.
Yeah, everybody can't go together. And I'm realizing that. I'm realizing as many motherfuckers as I got much love for, I can't take all you motherfuckers with me because you motherfuckers will, nah, I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Real quick. It's gonna be a crash and burn real quick.
Real quick. And I'ma still love y'all. And as hard as it is for me to say it, that's like some family motherfuckers too. If I could give you, I'm all about encouragement. I don't want to see none of my people punching the clock for nobody. I understand that they got to do it, but if you have an interest and a drive and a love, I'm here to help you promote it. I'm here to help you push it. I'm one behind you 100%, because at the end of the day, if I fuck with you, I fuck with you. And if I get up on the phone one day and I want to be able to say, Seiko, what you doing? Nothing. Hey, check this out. I'm about to call Rush. I'm about to call Queen. We about to call Ish. We about to hop a flight and go to Barbados. What y'all think? All right. What I don't want to hear is motherfuckers talk about, man, I gotta see if I can get the time off and I gotta do this. No, we're not trying to do that. And I'm not trying to be the motherfucker to flip your bill when you go. I want to make sure all my people get it. We all eating equally and we can all do what the fuck we want to do whenever the fuck we want to do it, because that's what they ass do. And why can't we do it?
You know what that made me think of, bro? How many people do you know that will call on you, but you never even thought that they would even call on you?
How many people what? Say that again.
How many people will call on you, like when they need help, but you never thought that they would call on you? I'm gonna tell you why I said that today, and this is something that happened today. I'm sitting in the crib and I'm doing laundry. And I get a text, and it's from somebody that says, "Yo, what's up?" And I look at the number, and I'm like, I look at the name, and I'm like, I know it's in my phone, but I don't recognize who it is off bat. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So the guy said, "Yo, could you come outside for a minute? I got a situation going on." So I knew, because what he did not want to discuss on the phone, that it was a situation. So I'm in the crib putting on clothes, and in the same, I'm going through multiple different phases, because one side of me is like, I now recognize who it is. He lives in my building. Well, what's popping? That's the first part of me. Then the second part of me came to, no, you're a grown man now. You don't need to be out here scrapping, getting ready. And so I went out there, and I've known the guy, but I've never heard his story. So we got in the car. He said, "Yo, man, this is a situation between my girl and her daughter." She said they got into it real bad. And he said, "I've been to the penitentiary. And one thing that we don't do in the penitentiary is disrespect towards a mother." Now, check this out. I done been locked up. I've never been to the county. I've never done any hard time, so don't take that shit up. But I've been, locked up overnight and shit like that, and been released in the morning. I've never been through that shit. I've heard certain shit. So I said, yeah, I know how motherfuckers feel about disrespecting a woman in the county, because I'm talking about what I know from the streets. This man looked at me and said, "No." It's a different conversation.
Whole different conversation.
Somebody's mama. He said, we fucked them up.
Period.
Wait, whoa. Check this out, bro. So then my man said, I didn't call you out here because this is a big nigga. He ain't no little bitty nigga. He's a big nigga. He said, I ain't call you out here really to. He said, I just called you out here to just, keep eye. So look, bro, he did this. He said, I'm straight. So I look at it. I said, okay, yeah, he's straight. So when the father came to pick up the daughter, because basically they were saying the daughter got to go. She over here tripping too much. But he's like, I don't know how this father is going to
Gonna react.
me. Listen, and this is how I'm looking. This is how I took the conversation. He said, I don't know how I'm going to respond to this father responding to me taking care of his wife. I mean, not his wife, but his ex-woman and his child, because she don't work. And once he said that, I was like, oh, bro, I told him, I said, bro, ain't nothing else you need to say to me, bro. There is nothing else that you need to say to me. And I had people calling me saying, yo, you need to go upstairs. I said, yeah, but no. I said, because I'm in it now. You know what I'm saying? I said, I don't believe in nobody. Like if Note called me right now and said, come out here and help me in a situation, I'm not going to show up and then say, well, no, I got to leave you. I may cuss Note out later and tell him he brought me into some bullshit, but I'm going to ride with Note while I'm with Note. Does that make sense? So I'm in the situation.
We right where we right, we right where we wrong at this point, and we'll discuss that shit later.
And this is not a nigga that I know. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this is a nigga that has come to my crib to watch battle rap. And when somebody got shot around here, or not got shot, but shooting around here, when I showed y'all the shit about my car getting hit, that's how we met. That's how we met.
The big dude.
Now, check this out.
Wait, bro, you talking about the big dude that when we went back there, we was looking at the bullets in the car that came out?
The big nigga.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a pretty good memory.
So I'm sitting in a situation like, now you can get a quicker little memory about how big the nigga is.
Yeah, that nigga was nice because he was a little bigger than me.
I said, God damn.
And I'm 6'3", 260, and that nigga was bigger than me.
I said, well, what did I present to a nigga in the short time that he met me to let him think that he could even call me to say, come out. But I had to recognize, well, shit, that's the nigga that I am. Even though I don't walk in that light and I don't want to try to bring none of that attention to me, I'm a little dude. I've always been a little dude. I've been 5'8" all my life, been a little nigga. But I've been in situations where I've had to be bigger than 5'8" at the situation. Because niggas didn't put me in a situation where I had to be bigger than 5'8". I didn't know what it was. And this is the killer part. Out of all of that, I'm so grateful that I'm at an age now where I can go out in that situation and not be the nigga like, well, what's up? Who the fuck is he? I just listened, watched the situation. And I mean, I'm literally like 3 cars from him when the dude pulled up. Because then when the dude pulled up, I was like, I looked at the nigga that just got out of my car, that's ready to get into some shit. And I looked at the nigga coming to pick up his kids. And I said, man, oh, he don't want that. He don't want none of that nigga. Because my street shit kicked in. I was like, oh, no. He don't. I was like, his girl is going to kick off more shit than he will. And lo and behold, she was out there talking shit. And I'm sitting out there like, oh, man. But it wasn't between the niggas. It wasn't between the nigga that said, get out. This kid got to get in my house and you got to come pick up your kid. Seiko, tell me, and then we're going to end this show. How do you get beyond the person that tells you to do certain things, pick you off to do certain things, and the person that tells you that ain't the best thing for you to do.
I'm gonna tell you,
Because in love,
because
that's
that's the person that it comes down to, a maturity of the mind and spirit, because you have to be able to discern which one is looking out for your best interest and which one is looking out for you in that particular moment. Because even the one that is quote unquote looking out for you in that particular moment, yeah, they're not necessarily looking out for you. You need the one that's looking out for your best interest overall. So I had those people who would sit there and be like, and so I had to switch up, because when I talk about baby girl and I talk about the fact that I decided I had to live my life in a way where she could imitate what I was doing, and it was not a matter of do as I say, not as I do. So I had to change up my friend circle and everything. But it came down to a matter of these are the people that I know are looking out for my best interests long term. And again, that came from that whole mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever you want to call it, maturity.
Big No. Talk to me. I'm getting ready to get up out of here.
Hey man, I'm gonna say this, man. I told you this once before. I guess that I remember that was behind closed doors, but I told you the reason that dude came to you, bro, and the same reason why I realized motherfuckers started doing the same shit to me, like motherfuckers just calling me out the blue, like motherfuckers really like value my opinion, and the shit's fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying?
You know me now.
Because even to me, from where I was, some of the shit that I say to people sounds retarded to me, but I believe the fuck out of it, if it makes sense. Like the old me would have been like, nigga, are you crazy? What did you just tell that? You said what?
But you lived it. You know it though. You know it be true for you.
Yes.
You ain't
So,
talking about no shit that somebody told you. You talking about a perspective that is
from me.
Yeah.
And I say that when I told you when we had that little, like we said, that very first meeting when we talked and we woo, and I told you, bro, you were in a position, because I do the same thing. We are in positions to touch on so much and be able to bring, like, we got some loyal people out here that show up every motherfucking Sunday. Not just Sundays, on Tuesdays when it's me and you. On Thursdays, we got some loyal people that show up.
Whether it's 3 or 4.
Where there's 3 or 4. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like Seiko and them, they pop up on me every morning sometimes when I'm doing blunts and bullshit. They pop up on me and be like, woo, 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 this, that, and the third. You know, I'm like, all right, appreciate it. Kim popped up the other day. You know, it's so... That's why you see me more on certain shows than you won't see me on. Like, sex is cool. Hey, if that's what y'all want to talk, do that. But that's just not, from my mind frame right now, that's not what I choose to do. I always, if you notice, I always find a way to get it back to something that got to do with us getting us better as a person. Because I firmly believe that once we get there, everything else will be great.
And you know what burns my what just drives me fucking crazy. And even Maseko. This is the reason Maseko was not in Talking Dirty right now. Because when you open up a group to talk about a particular show and a topic, people just come into the group and think that it is what it is. But I just got to a point where I said, okay, because of the name of the show, Talking Dirty After Dark, and all that shit, it's going to pick up a certain thing. But my goal is to, because if you listen to any show, it's just like this, almost to a certain degree. It's just about a different style of topic, you know. And I want everybody to, I'm gonna challenge you. If you think that Talking Dirty After Dark, and if you think, I'm about to go here. If you think that the show is about a hookup, the show is about niggas that just want to get into something extracurricular. Listen to me. It's not about that at all. I am not a person that is even available to the public and anyone. This show is designed to really scratch the forefront of your imagination. And I say your imagination because what you think may not be what I think. And you sing that tonight. But it's about the imagination of what you see life to be tapped into. Now, if you have a mindset of this is what I believe, go ahead and rock it. But every show that I've created, and the reason that I've created this show, and as much as I want people to rock with this show and fuck with me, I don't want nobody to fuck with me or anybody else on this show for the pretense of thinking that is something else that it's not. This is really to make someone think differently, either about a lifestyle that they are already living or to open their minds up to something that they did not know. The same way you heard me arguing with Maseko, not really me arguing, but you heard Carl and Maseko arguing, you may actually feel what Maseko is saying. And that may be true for you. But my only argument is if that is your thought process, live it to the fullest degree. Don't live it for the moment.
Don't tiptoe.
Again, I'll say this again. Don't live it to be a whore without being labeled a whore. Because that's why a lot of people dip into this. Look at my fingers, the lifestyle, because it allows you to do more than if you were in a monogamous relationship and you can get away with it. You can just say, I ain't found the right motherfucker.
There is a term called ethical non-monogamy. Look it up.
That's
on Rekink. I put the link on there. On Rekink.
I love interacting with the different types of groups. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucking poly, the swingers. I like going and fuck around and seeing how y'all get down, but I'm cool.
Yeah. And it's not for everybody. It's not meant to be for everybody.
And I don't knock those that do it. Listen, man, that's the thing that I don't understand about us as a people. Why can't we just accept people who the fuck they are and let them be that? If it's a problem with it, guess what? You do not have to deal with that in any way, shape, or form. Now, what the problem is it has gotten to where it's been being exploited, and now motherfuckers do. Because I say this all the time. One thing that I hate is when I watch the few little times that I watch TV.
They throw the gay shit in your face.
And on that note,
I'm gonna tell you, there's 3 little letters.
They get more. And what bothers me is not the fact that I don't have a problem with them, because no person deserves to be disrespected in no way, shape, or form because of how they live or they choose to live. But damn it, when you start putting motherfuckers of anything, I don't give a fuck what it is, before us getting treated as a people correctly, I have a problem with it. And when you start exploiting that shit, and you'll sit up and let these motherfuckers call us niggas and do this and do that and laugh and put us, and we still fighting to get over this motherfucking hump. Y'all oppressed us for so long and we can't get shit. But then y'all expect us to just be so hunky-dory when y'all saying no disrespect again to the LBGTQ community, to the Mexicans, to all these other minorities, when goddamn it, we built everything on this motherfucker. So I'm willing to speak my shit about getting that shit right. Just period what it is. And until we get that, and they know this, and that's what the problem is. They know it and we don't. And they keep turning us against each other and we don't get it.
Oh, you know what you made me think of? Seiko, can you type this down for me? Because I want to start ending the show with this one phrase. We're gonna talk about what we talk about when we talk about it by any means necessary, no matter how you feel about it.
What we talk about when we talk about it?
We're gonna talk about what we talk about when we talk about it, and it does not matter how you feel about what we're talking about.
Because when you love people unconditionally, man, what they do, what their lifestyles is, and what that are, if you know that's who they are, that shit don't bother you.
Well, listen. Go ahead, bro.
Conditions fuck shit up.
Absolutely.
Conditions fuck shit up. When a motherfucker loves you because of something that you give them, that's not love.
Nope.
I don't give a fuck if I knew you. I could see you looking at you right now here today, Rush. And in 2 weeks, I could see this motherfucker not tell me. I catch Rush on a motherfucker hitting and I know it'll never ever hitting the pipe, and I'm gonna be like, nah, come here, bro. Let me talk to you. Woo, woo, woo. I'm not gonna judge Rush, or I'm not gonna. That's still my nigga. I still love Rush.
That's right. That's still your nigga. Now all three of us be sitting up there knocking on his door talking about we need to holler at
like,
you.
nigga, what you said? We need to
Rush ain't gonna be hitting no pipe. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now.
Yeah, no, he better not.
Bet not.
And some Patron.
Yeah, but it's a lot of motherfuckers that'll look at it, and what I'm saying by that is people will get like Rush is doing from his day, he doing good.
You dismiss him.
Yeah, so to see Rush later on and be like, damn, Rush hitting the woo, wait, my nigga used to do this, do that, do this, the third, do that. Now you don't want to fuck with him because he got a vice now. Motherfucker, you got a vice. Might not be as bad as it, but once you knew that vice, you still should love him for who he is.
You know what? You just made
I love each of y'all for who y'all are.
Not the condition that, Rush smoking crack, I don't love him no more. So fucking what, motherfucker? You a whore out here, but I still love you.
All right, I'm gonna ask y'all two to do me a favor. And I know normally when I ask this particular favor, if I get it, it comes through. If not, we ride it. But I want you both to come up with 2 clips where somebody needed love, but they didn't receive it. Well, we can look at the clip and we can, we can say, well, yeah, that nigga fucked up. He did that shit, he did some fucked up shit, but we can look at the response to it and be like, well, that could have been done differently. Because if it was done differently, it might have changed that person's life. That's my assignment for y'all. Can we agree to do that?
That's easy. Yeah, I can do that.
All right. This is what I'm gonna ask. The show is on Sunday. I'm gonna ask that I get the clips by Wednesday so I can already have them, so I can upload them because I do Wednesday is the last show or Thursday. Do that Thursday night.
Okay, I was about to say Monday through Wednesday is all fucked up for me.
Thursday night. So that'll give me time to put the clips and have everything. Hey, listen, I appreciate everybody that tuned into tonight's show. This is Real Talk. What's Love Got to Do with It? I appreciate my beautiful host, co-host, Maseko. My late ass gonna cuss me out. I'm gonna punch you in the throat later. And my big nigga, big note. The nigga I first agree with, but that nigga is leaning on me, man. That nigga leaning on me, G. He leaning on me. Hey, yo, I love y'all, and we'll see y'all in